All right, welcome everybody. We're here for session 2 of Candlekeep Mysteries. So if you followed along with our first video here, you probably noticed we didn't do much of an introduction of our characters. So I've asked each of our players here to do a brief introduction of our characters before we go ahead and jump in and pick up our session with a recap and then into the action. So just moving left to right here on my Roll20 screen, let's go ahead and start with Leopold. Leopold, why don't you go ahead and give an introduction for your character?
Wow, getting called on first in class. Um, Leo is a human male. He has scale, actually a breastplate on, along with lots of other little doodads that are hanging off of it. He, I guess, for lack of a better thought, he more or less has a utility belt that would probably put Batman to shame. Uh, Several, I guess, mechanisms. He carries a crossbow that has a lot of heavy modifications onto it, slots for attachments, and um, one of the odd things that you'll notice is that the bow itself um, has I guess it doesn't have a bowstring. I don't think I ever described it, but instead, when he goes and pulls, he uses his hand to pull back the string, and the string magically appears in the crossbow, and then depending on what ammo he's got loaded in there, that will manifest, or if he's doing something that requires regular ammunition, they'll put that in. Um, he also has a silver wolf dog that travels with him, named Silver appropriately. She, in I guess no one watching this YouTube would know, but in the previous campaign, she had gotten beat up several times, and Leo had to fix her with just kind of whatever was around. Um, but now she is a lot more streamlined and repaired looking. Uh, Pretty, um, I guess, arcanely driven. There's not too many gears or motors inside of her at this point, so it's kind of, I think she's pretty sleek, stealthy little wolf that uh, tends to, I guess, she's usually in step with Leo, whatever's going on, and takes his instructions without really needing much explanation. She's a pretty smart little wolf. Um, yeah, I think that's it for Leo there.
Excellent. Thanks for that introduction of Leopold and his companion. Appreciate that. We will move over to Brandel.
Hello, my name is Brian. I'm playing Dr. Brandel Crane. Yeah, so he is a human, uh, divination wizard. Let's just put it that way. And because I lack creativity completely, he's a cliche. So try to think of a human wizard riding a cart with an old draft horse. Wanting to portent and do those type of spells. He's not known for a lot of damage spells, but he's a telekinetic wizard who can move things with his mind. Um, I guess he was a cloistered scholar at the Blackstaff Academy at Waterdeep, and he got thrown into Avernus, where he met all his colleagues here. And one of his flaws is that he left Avernus after we did that, with knowing that Asmodeus himself has an interest in Brandel's soul. So if Brandel dies, his soul will be in the service of Asmodeus himself. So that's hits his big thing that keeps him motivated to go, and so much so that he spent his off time just trying to find an amulet of proof against detection and location, so that knowing he's wanted, maybe they can't find him with scrying eyes. What else would I like to say about him? He's prideful of his knowledge, even though Leopold has shown his brain to be equally powerful or equally uh, in line with Brandel. So he might get a little snotty, but Brandel will get snotty about his knowledge, but he's very humbled with his friends. He definitely believes he would not be alive if his friends weren't with him today. I think that's about it.
All right, thanks, Brian, for that introduction of Brandel and that overview. It gives us a good view of him, and we will move on to Lexi.
Wait, Brian's not going to tell Brandel's nickname story?
No, I'm actually gonna try to bury that story.
Well, then Lexi will tell it. I'm Natalie. I play Lexi. Lexi is a half-orc barbarian that does not know her own strength. Her eyes were crossed in a bar fight that she got in a couple years ago when she got smacked over the head with a tankard. But then they uncross sometimes. If she gets hit really hard in a fight, and then they recross, so you can never really tell the status of Lexi's eyes. It depends on, whether she's gotten hit in a fight recently or not. She's super bonded to her teammates. Once she's loyal forever. Also, her appearance changes depending on whether she's wearing the belt of fire giant strength that she acquired in Avernus. If she's wearing that belt, she turns into giant half-orc demon with wings. But now she's not wearing it. She was able to doff it last time, so she still has the belt, but now she's just a normal half-orc that's green. And in the beginning of last campaign, she met Brandel, or she heard about Brandel when he was hanging out at the bathhouse, and there was a rumor that an old man with saggy balls was hanging out at the bathhouse. And Lexi loves to go to bars and make money and place bets, and so she started spreading rumors about Brandel's saggy balls and that he had the saggiest balls. And anyway, it got a little out of hand. But Brandel was heretofore known as Saggy Balls since that time. And so, so that's Lexi.
Excellent. Thanks for that introduction of Lexi, as well as that behind-the-scenes information on the nickname of Brandel. Very, very well done.
Yes, thank you very much. Yes.
You're welcome.
All right, we will move over to Delzaris.
Hi, I'm Brad. I'm playing Delzaris, or Del for short. He is a half-elf conquest paladin aberrant mind sorcerer. So he was a wanderer that was trapped early in his years as a young paladin by an aboleth, and was enslaved by the aboleth to lure others of his kind and other travelers into the aboleth's lair for it to feed on their brains. And so that is how he gained his mental powers. Eventually the aboleth was slain, and he found himself trapped in Elturel as it fell. And that's how he met the party. Since then, he's started his own company, and he carries a shield and a moon-touched longsword, and his I believe he has chainmail on. So, that's Del.
Excellent. Thank you, Brad, for that introduction of Del. Yes, that very interesting backstory that we may be seeing more of in the future. We'll move on to Frederick.
Hi, everybody. My name is Dylan. I play Frederick Young. Frederick Young is a half-elf from Baldur's Gate. He was originally forcefully recruited into the Flaming Fist, and that's where he met most of this party. as they were also forcefully thrust, he acted as kind of like an in-betweener, so they had somebody to communicate with the higher levels. Frederick quickly, turned out to be a reliable ally who, really believes in protecting his friends. Growing up homeless as a sorcerer, that kind of made a name for himself as the one who would take down the bullies, so to speak. And as he got older, he kind of continued the trend. He died in Avernus, and he was resurrected by Zariel. Since he's come back to life and back into the material plane, he's created quite a name for himself in the rebuild of El Terrell, and he runs 2 establishments. He tries to put off a very stoic, noble demeanor, but in all honesty, Frederick is a vast lover of friends, and all he wants to do is make sure everybody makes it home to their loved ones alive. But yeah, that's what I would say about Frederick.
All right, thanks, Dylan, for that introduction of Frederick. Yes, very traumatic experience there in Avernus, being buried in the Avernian soil and resurrected by Zariel. Very interesting turn of events, to say the least. Appreciate that, and we will move on to last and certainly not least, Ranvon.
Hello, I am Volt, and I play Ranvon Hess, who is a human cleric of the Order domain. Ranvon wears plate armor adorned with oceanic motifs and carries a shield and a mace. He's gray haired, tall, and composed, carries an air of importance around with him. Ranvon met the group while they were in Avernus. He and another player character that you may someday meet, Aunt Dolly, were both transported to Avernus while attempting to chase down a cult. Because of that, Ranvon is currently the least tenured member of the group. We don't often talk about the mechanics on our sheets, but I will mention that Ranvon has the Warcaster feat, so you're not going to hear me worry too much about what's in my hands when I'm doing spells in combat.
Excellent. Thanks very much for that introduction of Ranvon there, Volt. And I will just mention quickly, I'm Adam Caramon online, and I've been DMing for a good long time now, approximately 25-ish years or so. So looking forward to continue this campaign, and I hope anybody that happens to be watching along enjoys it. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump into our recap here, guys, and then continue on with our session. So we started off last session with it being sort of our reconnection of everybody in the group. So you guys had survived the events in Avernus. You eventually all made your way to Candlekeep, but for different reasons. Both Brandel and Leopold had actually made that their base camp, Brandel being an associate researcher there at Candlekeep, and Leopold decided to set up shop in the smithy there and perhaps practice his trade and try to perfect some of his techniques. And so both of them were there and sort of based there, as I say, in Candlekeep. One after another, I believe it was Dell first who arrived, noticing that Brandel was outside of the bathhouse, which was kind of an inside joke from Avernus. But the two of them quickly connected, made their way past the smithy, where they ran into Leopold, who was plying his trade. They all then made their way to the hearth, and Lexi then made her way as well, bringing with her Booger, her homunculus companion, who had suffered some kind of damage or was acting very oddly, and she was hoping that Brandel the wizard might be able to take a look and perhaps fix Booger. Shortly thereafter, it was Ranvon who arrived next and explained that he had come to Candlekeep in search of information, trying to connect with a scholar of some interest to further pursue some learning opportunities here related to something to do with his temple. And then last but not least, we had Frederick arrive on the scene as well. Each of the characters had some different interesting elements that they shared with the group, kind of getting everybody up to speed, as it had been approximately a year since the full group had been together. So some of you guys had accomplished some interesting things during your downtime. We won't go too much into that now, but I'm sure that will be coming back up in future sessions as we dig into some more of that material. Once you guys were all reconnected, we had a couple of interesting events, one being that one of the gate guards arrived at the hearth, indicating that Ranvon's book that he tried to sort of hand off did not pass muster, and then wanted to sort of pull him back. But quickly he was able to produce a different book, which seemed to, at least for the time, seem to suffice for this gate guard, who took it and sort of exited with an understanding of they would review this book, but likely it was going to be fine for admission. So for those of you that are not aware, to get into Candlekeep, it requires some type of tome, some book, some bit of knowledge is stored in written format that doesn't currently exist in Candlekeep. So this was one of the challenges that the group had to face in their arrival here. During the discussions, they also ran once again into the interesting individual inside the hearth known as Little One, an ogre that wears a headband that seems to make him very intelligent. He is a scholar of sorts. Having overheard some information from the group, he intruded on them politely as he could, letting the group know that he had heard some rumors and some knowledge and from some travelers that there were folks who were on the road between Candlekeep and Baldur's Gate who were being assaulted by this sort of mysterious group. Nobody really knew if it was an organized group or if it was sort of bandit raids, seemingly going after people and books or tomes of knowledge, which is fairly rare. So this sort of caught the attention of the group. The couple members of the group also had specific books that they were looking to view, at least in Candlekeep. And so in speaking with Brandel, Brandel agreed to take them up to the Emerald Gate and try to request those books. In doing so, one of the books that was requested was based on this information from Little One, who had indicated that this Book of Inner Alchemy is something that one of the rumors he had heard. It seemed as though this group was looking for this particular tome. When the Avowed, which is the name of the sort of scholars here at Candlekeep, headed into the Great Library to retrieve the Book of Inner Alchemy and returned with it, we were able to see that the book itself was damaged and disheveled. It seemed as though individual pages in different sections of this book had been torn out. Brandel, being an associate researcher here, was able to inform the group that there is actually magical enchantments placed on Candlekeep that books cannot actually be stolen. If they are stolen, they actually just reappear back in the Candlekeep library, which is quite a bit of nifty bit of magic. However, taking part of books is actually a way to get around that magic. You can't take large sections of books, but individual sheets here or there, or small sections of a total tome can be cut out of books and taken out of Candlekeep. And that seems what has happened here. So after learning of this information, and also learning that the two of the Avowed that were in this area of the Great Library, when this book was damaged, as these pages were extracted, were actually killed by whoever these assailants were. The group decided to try to get inside of the Great Library to investigate the area. The gate guard himself seemed a little bit apprehensive about this at first, perhaps, but realizing the severity of the situation, agreed to allow the group to come in. So a couple of the other folks, being mostly Lexi and Leopold, and I think it may have also been Ranvon, were over in Leopold's shop here and investigating Booger, trying to get him fixed up from his strange behavior. When this information came through, as Frederick popped in, casting a Misty Step to appear there silently, and was able to gather the full group, and the full group then headed through the Emerald Gate into the Great Library proper. The Avowed gate guard leader here, he was the second in command, is what the group learned. He was able to take everybody into the Great Library and show them this specific area where this assault took place. The group spent some time searching around this area, looking for any sort of any kind of symbols or any kind of evidence of these assailants, and were able to find a few pieces of information. One, Ranvon was able to determine, examining the bodies, or the body of one of the Avowed that had been slain, that he had been killed with sort of blunt force trauma, and was able to determine that that was based on unarmed strikes. So passing that information along to the group, and then we had, I want to say it was Leopold, who was able to discover the scrap of cloth that was captured in the other slain Avowed's hand, and this seemed to reveal a particular symbol. Upon further examination, it turned out that the group was able to determine that this symbol belonged to a group known as Monks of the Immortal Lotus. They're a very esoteric group, not very popular at all. However, in piecing this information together and leader talking with the Gate Guard Avowed, they were able to figure out that this group is known, or is rumored at least, to have a, I guess you could say sort of like a complex or some type of a gathering in the Cloakwood, the forest that is nearby Candlekeep, about a 4 days walk from there. The group, after learning, they had totally altruistic reasons that were really going to help, of course, but once they were told that the bounty was 8,000 gold pieces for the return of these missing pages, that seemed to make it much easier to agree to take upon this mission. So they quickly gathered amongst themselves, discussed a bit of information before heading out, where we were to see Brandel had procured a cart as well as a draft horse that he had named Smiler after his encounter with Smiler the Definer in Avernus. The group then headed out of Candlekeep, knowing that to get back in, all of the player characters other than Brandel would need to come with a tome of knowledge, another one. Each time somebody passes through the gate, they have to get another book of knowledge to Candlekeep to be able to re-enter. This does not apply to employees, so luckily for Brandel, that won't be a concern. The group then went on a 4-day trek overland. We sort of fast-tracked this quickly as it had been a long session, and we wanted to try to get right to some action here. And the group found themselves in the forest, and in entering the forest, spending like 3 or 4 hours searching around the forest, they were eventually able to stumble upon 2 individuals that seemed to be dressed in attire that resembled information they had learned about the immortal Lotus monks back in Candlekeep, and saw them from behind. It seemed as though these monks, if that's what they were pushing a wheelbarrow that had corpses in it, and were pushing it up to these 2 trees that were sort of split, and these black oozes that were sort of suffusing these trees, and the tendrils of the ooze were reaching out towards the monks and the wheelbarrow. And this is when the group spotted them. They dumped the corpses out of the wheelbarrow and started turning and sort of heading back when the group decided to make their move. So this is where we rolled initiative, and that is where we'll get started. But first, does anybody want to add anything to our recap there that perhaps I missed?
Yeah, I had something, Adam. If I remember correctly, it was Ranvon who, as he was figuring out the medical reason why the 2 avowed had been slain, he spoke with the avowed that was alive, who was giving us information, and convinced him to cast Speak with the Dead on the 2 dead bodies. And we were able to ascertain the 2 individuals who broke in, what they looked like, being a dark-haired woman, late 30s, with a thin scar, and then a handsome silver-haired man in his mid-30s, and both of them wearing black clothes underneath flowing white robes. So we kind of have an idea of who we're looking for in here as well.
Yes, very good addition. Yep, we had that whole Speak with Dead session where you guys compiled the questions that you would like to ask of these corpses, and we're able to get some pretty good information. Yeah, good addition. Go ahead and take inspiration there, Frederick. Anybody else would like to add anything to the recap?
There was also we tried to maybe persuade them to resurrect the guards who had been working for them that had fallen on the job here, but they seemed to say, like, I don't know, it's awfully expensive.
Yes, this is true as well. Yep, go ahead and take inspiration as well, Ranvon. So in this particular instance, the question was, well, Candlekeep appears to be very, very wealthy and rich. Surely they have the funds, the resources to resurrect anybody that should fall. When speaking with the gate guard, Yanu, he indicated that this was a decision that was above him, but you sort of got the impression that he didn't think it was necessarily a priority to resurrect these avowed. Perhaps resurrecting the dead is something that is not done lightly here in Candlekeep, but as the sort of hypocrisy of this was shown to him, as you guys indicated, well, wait a minute, you're offering a bounty of 8,000 gold, but you don't necessarily have the resources to resurrect these people. This sort of seemed to dawn on him, maybe made him a bit embarrassed here, but he once again reiterated that this question of whether or not these avowed will be resurrected would occur above him. So yes, good addition there. Anybody else like anything to our recap? Okay, if not, then we also have a very interesting addition to our game here. Brian, who's playing Brandel, writes an entry in what he's calling Brandel's Journal each week. So this is actually something that's posted, and if this was something that anybody watching this was really interested in seeing, definitely let us know. Maybe we could make that available on the YouTube channel, perhaps, just so everybody can get that. So it's really nifty feature that Brian does each week, and Natalie assists him with editing that. So between the 2 of them, we award them inspiration at the beginning of the session for that entry. So guys, go ahead and take inspiration for that.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so as you can probably see a little bit above in the text, I actually pre-rolled the initiatives here to get us right into the thick of things. So I will move us over to our map here where we're in the woods, and we will be able to get right to the action. All right, so we find ourselves down here in the woods. You guys have noticed these individuals to your northeast, and you can see them pushing that wheelbarrow, which is a bit off in the distance. Depending on where you're standing, you may not necessarily be able to see them right away, but you know the general direction of where they're at. And with that, let's go ahead and turn on some more up-tempo music here. That should do nicely. Okay, and first to act is Brandel.
All right. I'm gonna take a step this way because I don't see anything. Oh, I do now. They're just ahead to the northeast, I'll say. That's 10. That's 15. All right, now from here, okay. So Brandel doesn't have to use any verbal components with this spell. He's gonna kind of get behind that tree, sees this guy here, up here, and knowing in his mind that, predicting that we are definitely going to combat here, I'm going to just wave my hand and point my finger at that person there, and I'm going to throw a mind spike his way.
All right, you cast the Mind Spike spell, and here comes a Wisdom saving throw. All right, this is effective as you notice he suddenly starts grasping at his head as the pain inflicts in his mind.
Is there a secondary? Oh, I'll always know where he is, even if he's invisible.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Nice. I'll whisper, I'll know where he is, the one on the left. And then from there, I am going to, that was 15, right?
Sounds right.
I'll just go there, I'll end my turn. How about that?
Okay, next quickest to act is Lexi. All right, Lexi, you make your way around that sort of incline of rock there into this more open area, and yeah, you spot this robed man as well.
All right, I'm gonna hurl a javelin at him.
All right, so stepping up here, grabbing a javelin out of your pack or your side perhaps, and throwing it. This will be at the long range for a javelin, so this attack will be at disadvantage. Go ahead and make your attack. All right, this flies forth towards this guy, but you notice very quick and nimble on his feet, he evades this attack.
All right. And I will... I'll stop there.
All right, so those of you that have line of sight up here in this area, past all these visual obstructions, these trees, all of this sort of thing, you can see this seeping black ooze that seems to be in these trees actually begins to come out of the tree like it's a roll, in a sense, as you notice this oily material just spills over, runs down the tree, and starts coming onto the grass. Again, those of you that can see this, you'll notice pretty quickly that these oily tendrils reach forward from this black mass of goo and start attaching themselves to these corpses. You get the impression that it's probably trying to dissolve the material, or for lack of a better term, it's eating these corpses. The gentleman dressed in the white robes here, after dodging that strike from Lexi, You're going to notice he quickly climbs up the side, scaling this small incline here without too much difficulty, and gets up a little bit further and away from many of you's line of sight. I'll also throw out a quick, just FYI game note here. This map does make use of the new one-way lighting feature that Roll20 recently pushed out. So if you can't see up a cliff, but you turn, get to the top of it and turn back and notice that you can see, that's that new functionality in action. All right, so after this guy moves up to the top, we will pass his turn and go to Dell's turn.
Okay, so Dell will move 30 feet. Trying to get... Okay. Crap. I think I moved about 5 feet too far. Can I stop behind Lexi?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Or not. There we go. I can see a sliver of them, I guess, from this point, but it'll still be my full movement. So I am going to cast Hold Person on this guy right here.
Okay, yeah, so you cast Hold Person out towards the sky. Go ahead and post that, and here comes a saving throw. Yes, he seems to fail this save and is held.
And I will... I'll tell Lexi I got a hold of one of them, and then that will... Don't believe I have very much bonus actions, so yeah, that'll end my turn.
All
right. I don't have the interner on my page.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can get that set up for you. Top right, just click the bulleted list icon, and you should notice a macro there called End My Turn. Just go ahead and check that in bar, and make sure near the bottom the option for, there you go, excellent. If anybody else has that trouble, though, look for that checkbox that says Show Macro Quick Bar, and that will put that End My Turn right back in your macro bar there. Okay, yeah, no problem at all, Brad. All right, so we move to this guy's turn. He has failed his save, and he is currently held. So he doesn't get his turn here. Essentially, it goes to the end of his turn, and now he gets another Wisdom saving throw to try to shake off this effect. Okay, this time, let's see, spell DC I believe was 17?
Yeah.
17, okay, yes, being a monk, he is a little on the wiser side, so this is enough for him to succeed, so he is no longer held. All right, next up is Ranvon.
Okay, Ranvon can't see any of the action just yet, so he's going to try and get closer. So he'll move 20 and 10. He can see the ooze, but he can't reach it just yet, so he'll dash. And stop here and end my turn. I'm also missing this, but I'm gonna try clicking this thing in the chat.
Yep, that should work as well. All right, we move to Leopold's turn.
Moving. Well, let's see here. Get out my little ruler. Why is the ruler not working?
I blame Adam.
Oh, it's usually a safe bet. What's not working with the ruler?
The ruler. I can't click it, or I can click it, but I won't.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay, so we're not going to get sponsored by Roll20, but yeah, it's shit.
I think my whole thing kind of just.
I was going to say, my ruler seems to be working fine. I've always found all Roll20 products to be just quite fine.
Oh boy.
I just did a quick little reload. Let's see.
I'm getting a message. Yes, this is true. Adam is an avid fan of Roll20, and for as long as I've known him, no.
Appreciate that testimonial there, Volt.
My ruler also doesn't work.
That is
But
strange.
added.
Yeah, maybe try a quick refresh. I mean, I'm not having any issues with mine, but yeah, it might just be a refresh thing.
Are you guys in
Mine-
dark
Yeah, mine
mode?
Yeah.
died too. I was able to use it at one point, but not now.
It came right back as soon as I reloaded. So
I'll switch browsers.
Okay, so Leo gets up here. Man, what are we gonna do? He puts up his crossbow and I think this makes slightly more sense. He loads in a special little capsule that he then flings and fires off into the distance, casting web.
Nice. Okay, I believe that is one of the ones we have on spell template. I hope. Yes, we do. Yep.
Yep. So let's see. Oh, but now I can't. Now I can't move this.
I'll put it. Well, actually, let me move it a little bit. I should be able to put it somewhere you can actually see. Is that like
Well,
to move
you
it
know,
there?
actually, where I had it was actually going to be about right. Let's see, because that looks like. Is that actually on the right?
So from what you can see right now, I believe you can definitely see the guy. There you go. That would definitely touch the guy there.
Yeah. There. That's it. Okay. Dex save, please.
Okay, this is only going to affect the guy though. But yeah, here comes a dex save. Yes, he is not quick enough on his feet to avoid this, so the webs do capture him as they stick to him and to the ground, anchoring him there, and he is now restrained.
Good. That'll be Leo's turn. Silver behind him is going to start breaking into a run. Let's see, is she 40 or 45 movement? I think 40. Her sheet never got updated. It's still speed 0 from whenever one of those terrible hell things happened to her. 40. Okay. So she's going to get there. She is going to dash to right here. Is that yeah, that works. Okay. And she's going to hang out there.
All right, so we see Silver rush up there, and she is essentially at this point squeezing in this space with this tree. Is that your intent for her? It would be a bit of a disadvantage, or do you want her to be in an open space, one to the west?
I'm okay with her. I don't think she's going to attack, at least in the next round, before she'll move. So she's fine where she's at. I wanted more room for people to come up and.
Fair enough. Okay, yep. So just a quick reminder on the squeeze then. Yes, her attacks will be at disadvantage. Any attacks against her will be at advantage. All right, moving on to Frederick's turn.
Okie doke. Frederick's going to move up a little bit so he can try to see if he has line of sight. He does. So you guys will see Frederick's eyes kind of, well, I guess all of y'all's backs are turned to him. So Brandon will probably feel it, but this whoosh of energy as his, like the area around him kind of swirls around and his eyes flash a yellow, and he points one of his hands out and then another hand out in the direction of Ranvon and in the direction of Lexi. And he's going to cast Shield of Faith, and then he's going to twin it. So he'll give it to both of them.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, both of you guys that are targeted to that, go ahead and add some kind of icon to represent that you've been targeted by Shield of Faith.
Who got it?
Lexi and Ranvon. And as Frederick's hands are already out, kind of concentrating on that, he's going to kind of try to push them to face each other, kind of like forcing two north magnets to touch, you know. And the spark of energy is, and then he's going to direct his attention towards the guy, knowing it's a far ways away and a lot of cover. He's going to use Sacred Flame and make an attack roll.
Okay, and this was on the guy that's currently in the webbing, correct?
I'm not quite sure. This is the only guy I can see.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, he's the one trapped in the webbing. He is currently restrained. I believe restrained gives disadvantage on dex saves, or is it auto fail? Let me check that one.
Let's see.
Okay, restrained creature has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws. Okay, so as he's stuck to those webs, here comes a disadvantage dex save. Yes, he is certainly going to fail that as he is struck by this sacred flame and burned by this radiant energy.
Perfect. And he's just going to kind of hold his hands out, and his eyes are kind of flashing, and that air is kind of stagnant around him as he's concentrating on Shield of Faith. And he's going to stay where he's at.
All right, we move up to the top of round 2 with Brandel.
All right, so Brandel's mind he's looking around, but his concentration is on that guy he hit with the mind spike. He says he can't be hidden from me. Do I know where he is, Adam?
He is on the hill. Yes, he's to the northwest. I don't think that would give you exact location, but yeah, you've got a pretty good idea of where he's at. He's up on the hill.
Yeah, I think I still probably need line of sight to hit it.
Yes, unless the spell specifically says overrides the need for line of sight, you should assume you do need line of sight.
All right, cool. All right, no, I will not psychic lance him yet. So there's 5 there. 10. $15 there. I'm gonna say to the other guys up on the hill, I have him in my mind's eye. Can I move to this square, Adam, or?
It looks like you're pushing through the trees there, but yeah, if you can get there, you can get there.
That's my movement. Okay. I do see this creature that's eating the dead guys. All right. Before I move there, I'm gonna go here, Adam. I'm gonna just do a 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna do a telekinetic shove as a bonus action to Ranvon to push him forward 5 feet, if you'll allow me.
Ranvon, do you resist the telekinetic push?
I do not.
All right, you are slid 5 feet north.
All right, and from there, I'm going to firebolt this ooze thing. How about that?
All right, you line up a shot here through the thicket, through the trees, through all this obstruction. Luckily, this is a big, massive ooze. It's not particularly difficult to hit. This bolt of fire singes through the air, striking into the ooze and burning it.
Bonus action, movement, and my turn.
Okay, next up is Lexi.
All right, and how tall is this mountain or hill here, Adam?
From base to the top looks to be about 15 feet.
Okay. I will move there. And it's double your movement to climb?
Yep, you would need an athletics check here to climb, and I assumed you have a free hand to climb as well?
Yes.
Okay, then yep, it would be an athletics check to climb, and yes, it would cost you 2 feet of movement for every foot you climb. So to get to the top, you would need 30 feet of movement. Do you still have 30 feet left?
No, I only have 25 left. However, I think I'm going to rage and use my instinctive pounce, which will give me 20 extra feet.
Okay, that'll certainly do it. So yeah, if you want to burn your rage to turn that on, then make your athletics check, which would be at advantage because of rage, to climb to the top. All right, and your wild surge ability here is the flump. Where would you like to put that?
Can I decide when I have climbed the mountain?
Unfortunately not. It takes effect right when you use your rage.
Oh, okay. Let me see.
So anywhere within 30 feet of you.
So I'll put it. Shoot, I think that's too far. I guess I'll just put it
Right on the wheelbarrow to target the guy trapped in the webbing.
yes.
All right, so this will be at. This is a dex save, so he's at disadvantage because of the restrained condition. So here comes his save. Yeah, he's going to fail that. Go ahead and roll a d6, and he's going to suffer some force damage. All right, he's affected by that exploding flump that wounds him. You then quickly ascend this cliff and are able to do so easily with that athletics check that you rolled. I'm going to just scoot you up to here.
Woohoo! All right, I'm gonna go up and smack this guy.
All right, you step forward, noticing this guy standing here in this sort of monastery type standing position. He's got himself in a martial format, you might say. Go ahead and make your attack. All right, you chop out. So obviously drawing your battle axe from your side there, as you had that one free hand, you chop out towards him, and that's certainly going to connect. As you slash into him, he is wounded. You follow that up with a second attack, once again catching him on the shoulder this time and drawing a line of blood as you hit him a second time.
Ha ha! Take that, weird robed man.
All right, this ooze here continues just absorbing, devouring these bodies and making pretty good time at it. This one here did not like that firebolt too much. It kind of just starts moving through this area here and actually approaching, seemingly mindlessly so, getting up next to this other guy that is trapped in the webbing and striking out at him. Ooh, and for those of you watching, we do play with some fumbles and with critical hits, so one meaning a fumble. We'll go ahead and roll on the fumble chart. All right, the ooze is quite embarrassed, but no other special rider effects there. We move to the next guy's turn, who is currently standing next to Lexi. So from here, you're going to notice he moves very quickly to lash out towards you, Lexi. He first punches forth, trying to hit you in the shoulder, critically hitting Lexi. All right, this is actually a force strike, as he has force imbued in his attacks to his monk training. So here comes the crit. Spell struck. Roll damage as normal. Creature has disadvantage on on saving throws against spells until the end of its next turn. So just base damage here. Here it comes. All right, max damage. That's going to be 11 points of force damage to Lexi, and I'll need a dexterity saving throw from you, Lexi.
All right, here's my dex, and I would also like to use my unstable backlash.
All right, so essentially he hits you trying to knock you to the ground, but you manage to avoid the worst of this and stay on your feet. Unstable backlash. Okay, let's see here. Okay, yeah, so go ahead and... actually, I don't think we ever got that chart set up for you, did we? Go ahead and just click your... Actually, I'm trying to remember if I did build
I think it's on my rage button.
Yeah, you can, right, it's on your rage button, but yeah, I guess for now, click that. I'll get that separated for you next time, so it'll be easier to do this. Okay, okay, so this is the new one that you got during your downtime. How would you like to describe what occurs here?
All right, so this guy's gonna, like, punch Lexi in her nose, and she's got blood dripping down, and she's kind of pissed off. So she's gonna issue forth a guttural battle cry, and just like from the depths of her PTSD ridden soul, and it's gonna look like she has really bad breath, and this like light is gonna come out of her ears and her mouth, and it's gonna like basically envelop this dude in front of her.
All right, nice. So as you issue forth this guttural battle cry, the depths of her PTSD make this a very wild type of magical effect here, a affecting not necessarily just enemies. In fact, Ranvan, you happen to be within the line of effect of this based on its range. So I will need a wisdom saving throw from Ranvan, and I will throw one for this opponent. Okay, he is actually wise enough that he is able to resist the damage here. Ranvan, unfortunately, you are not, as this very terrifying sound ushers through your mind and psychically damages you. Lexi, go ahead and roll that damage.
Oh no!
All right, Ranvan, you will suffer 7 points of psychic damage as your mind is racked from this effect. Okay, that was this guy's first attack. He is then going to quickly follow up with a sweeping kick towards your midsection, Lexi. And Lexi's AC is 19, so this kick will manage to connect as it smacks right into your chest. This will be 4 more points of force damage and another dexterity saving throw, Lexi. Ooh, this time he catches you unaware, hitting in that midsection as you double over and fall prone.
Ugh.
Okay, next up is Del.
Okay. So, I see Lexi climb, and can I see her on the top of the ledge? Would it be possible?
From where you're standing right now, you cannot see her. She's moved away from that top of that ledge, and you don't have line of sight based on the height.
Okay, so I would like to move just enough so that I can misty step to the edge of the ledge. So I can't see the top of the ledge.
Yeah,
so
fair enough. So edge of the ledge. So yeah, I would say as long as you can get to this square, looks to be stable. You don't want to go here because this is like still vertical. But yeah, if you go here, here, or here, any of these 3 squares, you feel like you'd be good.
Okay, I didn't see any of those.
Oh yeah, probably would help if I'm showing you that pointer, huh? Okay, so here we go. It's either going to be this one, or this one.
Okay, so I'll misty. So that'll get me to the top of the ledge.
That'll get you to the top with no risk of falling at that point. You'll be on stable ground.
Okay. Can you move me 1 to the north, please?
You sure can. So go ahead and burn your Misty Step slot as you go through the silvery mist and appear at the top.
Yep, and that was the Fey Touched.
Okay, using that special ability from your feet. Okay.
Yep. So now 30 movement will get me to there, and I am going to make 2 attacks.
All right, you step up behind this guy and start to strike out. Go ahead and make your attack. Yes, this strike will indeed connect. All right, you bring your Moon Touch longsword slashing down into his back, and it does indeed carve into him, and you notice more blood starts to drench that white outfit. You follow up with a second attack, and you see he tries to get out of the way, but actually moves a bit too close as you stab him in the thigh. And he is wounded once again. He is looking very badly injured by this point.
Alright, that ends my turn.
Okay, next up is the other guy who's currently restrained, is getting attacked by this ooze, not liking that at all. He is actually going to attempt to get his way out of this webbing as he's very concerned about his predicament at the moment. I believe this is going to be a strength check from him.
Correct.
He fails to do so as he effortlessly strains against these webs, but they're just too powerful and he's not able to break free as we move to Ranvan's turn.
Okay, Ranvan will step up. I can fit here-ish, right? Like, I'm not trying to be on the...
Yeah, you're good
just
there.
trying to move up between the cliff and here. Okay, perfect. And then can I stand to the left of Silver?
You can, yep.
Okay, then I will move another 5 feet to get right here, and I will cast Spirit Guardians.
All right, you cast Spirit Guardians. Would you like to describe what this looks like?
Yeah, so a bunch of spirits come out from around Ranvan. They're mostly silver and gold, and they almost look like they have shape, but then like as you look at them, like no, it looks like it's constantly forming into a shape, but then it never seems to coalesce into anything before it dissolves and another one appears.
Nice. Okay. And do these appear to be angelic or fey, or do they appear fiendish?
They are angelic.
Angelic. Nice. Okay. So angelic spiritual forms flittering around in this area. That's currently represented by that yellowish aura that is extending from Ranvan. So that is your action, Ranvan. You're now concentrating on spirit guardians. Anything else?
That is it for me.
All right, going to go ahead and throw the clock icon on you there to indicate concentration as we move to Leopold's turn.
Leo feels like the situation is at least sort of in hand over there. He stomps his feet, and these little wings on his boots suddenly start zipping around very quickly, and he pushes off the ground and soars into the air. Can I go up 30 feet?
You can, yes. You fly up 30 feet. Of course, this is where the limits of technology sometime may fail us. I won't be able to reveal everything you see without exposing that to everybody. But what I can tell you that you see after you fly up here is you notice Alexi is up here. You can see an opponent just next to her here. You can see Dell on the other side has just recently struck. Other than that, a quick scan around, you notice the oozes, you notice your webbing up there. Nothing else jumps out at you that hasn't previously been described.
Okay. Since I can see the guy that Lexi and them are fighting, I'm going to shoot him.
You certainly can, yeah.
Right. 2 crossbow bolts, regular.
All right, you line up a shot and it sails right past Lexi as she's on the ground currently from being prone, punctures right into his chest, and he drops from that blow.
Oh. Leo says, "Oh, I thought they were going to be a little tougher. Sorry."
You're surprised. That's good.
Yeah. So I think that's it for Leo. Silver is going to attack the guy in the webbing. And I think normally when they're in the webbing and restrained, she has advantage, but because of the positioning she's in, she has disadvantage. So it's a straight roll. Is that accurate?
That is correct. Yeah, she's squeezing, so those cancel out.
Okay, here it comes.
All right, Silver bites forward, does manage to connect on this guy and wounds him as she latches onto his leg.
That's exactly it. She is now growling with her teeth latched onto his calf. And I think that is everything. I gotta go.
All right, we move up to the... actually, no, that's not the top of the next round. We move up to Frederick's turn, the end of this round.
Okie doke. Frederick is going to bursting out from behind the bushes as he sees the field of play is moving in that direction. He's going to go here and then kind of cut across to here where he's near his buddies, Leo and Brandel. Oh goodness. Now he can see that ooze and he's still got his hands out concentrating on the Shield of Faith. So you see where his eyes are still glowing. He's just going to kind of pull one hand back and then forcefully push it towards the ooze here, and he's going to cast his Eldritch Blast. I believe he gets 3 of them now, correct, Adam?
Yes, you are a level 12 character, so that is true. And to clarify, this is the ooze behind the webbing, correct? That one there, perfect. Okay, so this Eldritch Blast flyers out. You realize that these oozes are not particularly quick or nimble and don't even really try to avoid being struck. So this Eldritch Blast does indeed smack into it and wound it. Second and third one both connect as well as they smack in and puncture these like smashing holes into the ooze.
And, you know, when we were in Avernus, it looked, his Eldritch Blast looked way more kind of fire-esque, but now it's kind of way more forceful, kind of like, think of like a key strike in Dragon Ball Z, like he's like punching into the air. That'll end his turn since he's still concentrating.
All right, we move to the top of the next round. I think I want to throw one quick game note in here. Let me just see. Yeah, so I don't want to have a gotcha moment here later. So, Ranvon, with your spirit guardians, you can obviously omit people to be affected by this. I assume you would have selected everybody of your allies that you can see, because the spell requires that you see them. I don't believe you could have seen Del or Lexi at this point. Do you know if there was others that you could not see?
Oh, I do not know. I was not paying attention to that at all.
Fair enough.
Wasn't aware that was how that spell trigger worked.
Yep, yeah, no worries. So I think if I recall correctly, you had line of sight on everybody except for Del and Lexi, so that's what we're going to go with. So not that Lexi or Del, you would necessarily know this, but Ranvon, you certainly would. So obviously if you wanted to declare that to your allies so they don't step in and get hurt, that's something you could certainly do. But yeah, with that little game note out of the way, we will jump to the top of the next round with Brandel.
All right, Brando's going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can see this creature here, right there. Moving 25. I'm going to, and as I'm moving, in my mind, I know where that guy is on top of the hill. I don't know what's happening to him, but I know that my friends went up there, but I'm concentrating where he is.
I would actually say, Brandel, you realize you don't know his location any longer.
Oh, did I drop concentration?
No, but for some
He
reason,
did.
for some reason, you don't detect a living force up there.
Oh, that's strange. I'll keep that in mind. Concerns me for sure. But this creature here in front of Ranvon, this monk, will we see? So I reach in, I go and I just say verbally. It's all I have to do here. Cast a verbal spell on this guy. I'm gonna reach into his mind and says, "What is your greatest fear?" And I'm gonna cast Mind Sliver on him. Intelligence save, please. 17.
Yes, once again, he is affected by this as his mind is racked with psychic damage, and he tries to hold his head, but he's still restrained and can't.
Oh, I just remembered Leo killed the guy.
Yep, that's right.
That's a typical Brandel thing. He's old, right? It's like, he's hitting his head like, is this thing on? What happened to that guy?
Don't forget your ear horn, Brando.
Oh man, this game's tough. All right, and from that, watch this, because I'll do a little measuring thing. I think I got it. Yes, I'm gonna try to shove this guy to there if I can. Telekinetic shove the enemy.
So he is currently restrained in webbing, so this is gonna be pretty difficult. So what I'm going to say is I'm going to give him a strength saving throw against this at advantage.
And if it goes into that space, won't he fall prone?
Well,
that's my intention. Let's see.
He actually is quite resolute here as he's trying to force himself away. The webs are so, tying him down that when you try to push him with your telekinetic thrust, it kind of hits into him, but not enough force to dislodge him from these webbings.
Well, did it give him a sprained ankle at least?
You can't really see there, but maybe. I mean, he's all sorts of messed up right now.
All right, that sounds pretty good. And then with my 5 feet left, of course, being a squishy wizard, well, I'm not that squishy. I'll move there. Okay, my turn.
All right, we move to Lexi's turn, who's currently prone and raging, and she just saw a crossbow bolt swing through the air. What's a good term here? Shoot through the air, very high speed, and impale the guy here, this monk, into the chest, and he collapsed. What would Lexi like to do?
She would like to stand up.
All right, so she spends half her speed standing up and is no longer prone.
And for a point of clarification for her wild magic, does the guttural battle cry happen every turn, or is that just...
That's just when that effect occurs, so just a one-time effect.
Okay. Then she will... let's see. And whoa.
Okay, so Lexi, what did you mean to do?
I was trying to measure it, but I guess you can go there.
Okay, so as you step through there, Lexi, the first thing that you notice is as you enter this space here, as you're making your way through, these angelic flitting figures begin to assault you, and I'll need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
It's like paybacks, angelic paybacks.
So Ranvin, I don't think this spell save DC is accurate. It's showing 12 in the chat. I'm sure it's higher than that. What is your spell save DC?
It should be 17.
17. Okay, so Lexi, unfortunately, you will fail this save. Ranvon, can I get you to roll 3d8, please? Okay, Lexi, you suffer 12 points of radiant damage as these angelic spectral figures slash out, bash you, and damage you as much as they can as you enter. Also, this square and this square here are both going to be considered difficult terrain. So it's going to be 10 feet, 20 feet, then 25, 30. So it's 35 feet to get to where you are. Currently, you have 5 feet left.
Did I spend movement to get up from the prone?
You did indeed, yeah. So that means, I'm assuming you were in dash territory already.
Yep, she'll just dash, I guess. And move right there. And yep, I think that's all she can do, so her rage will drop.
Well, actually, the one good thing about taking damage from a friend is it keeps your rage going.
Oh, good! Yay, thanks, Ranvon.
Such a good friend.
All right, then we move to this big pudding who sees a delicious snack, and Lexi has just moved up next to it, and it will attempt to roll onto her. So as it does so, it's going to reach out with this sort of like long, stringy, fluidy arm almost as it tries to touch you, but is not able to connect. This next one here is still trying to eat this guy that is absorbed in the webbing, and it is going to latch out at him, and it will manage to connect. All right, you're going to notice in addition to this kind of like forceful strike, this arm, this oozy arm that touches onto him seems to actually begin to melt into his robes and in his flesh, and you hear him howl in pain. All right, then we move to Dell's turn.
Okay, so let's see here. 5, 10. Dell's gonna go there, and he is going to mind sliver the one engaged with Lexi.
Okay, he tries to touch the mind of this strange pudding. And while you might think, hey, that couldn't possibly work, could it? It could. So let's go ahead and roll a check. It does indeed, as the creature fails its save and is going to suffer some psychic damage.
And then it's, do you want me to roll the d4?
Mine's, oh, this is the one that gets the negative to the saving throw? Yeah, go ahead and roll that. Okay, fair enough. I've got that little indicator on him. We will remember that is a penalty on the next saving throw before your next turn. Anything else on your turn here, Del?
No.
All right, this guy is absolutely terrified. He is still in a very bad position, looking like he's about to get eaten. He's trying to get out of here. He's going to once again try to break free.
Is it a saving throw or a check?
The Spirit Guardian's before he does this or after?
Well, he fails. It probably would be either way, but yeah, he's certainly going to fail that, and then here will come a saving throw against Spirit Guardians. He is going to absolutely fail that as well. Go ahead and throw that damage, Ranvon.
I think I sent that just a second early. It should be right above your roll.
Oh, nice. Appreciate that. Missed that. Okay, actually, as these angelic spiritual things move around, strike into him, that's going to be enough to drop him to the ground. And I actually believe we missed applying that to the pudding. So I'll throw a quick check there and we'll see. Yeah, he'll be affected by that. If you want to, there we go. I'll take that off from the pudding as well. All right, so with that occurring, we then move to Ranvon's turn.
Okay. Having seen Now that he can see Lexi, he didn't see Lexi get beat up by his spirit guardians, so he's oblivious to that. And he can see Brandel. He's like, "Be careful! Don't step near me. My guardians are out." And he will target the pudding closest to him with a sacred flame.
All right, you conjure a sacred flame. Pudding's not necessarily known for being particularly dexterous. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, indeed, he is not, and he is struck by that sacred energy and burned by the radiant fire.
Okay, and then with a bonus action, I will cast Healing Word on Lexi.
All right, your healing word floats out to Lexi and restores 9 points to Lexi.
Ooh, thanks, Ramon.
And when that happens, I'll use Voice of Authority. I think this is the right one. Yeah, okay. There's so many level 1 features for this guy. Where you can use your reaction after I target you with a spell of level 1 or higher to make an attack against someone I can see, and I will say the pudding next to you.
Yes! Murder!
Lexi, you slash down into this pudding with your battle axe and notice that not only is the pudding completely immune to your strike, you've actually split it in two.
Oh, shit. Great!
Ranvon yells out, "That's good, right?"
All right, next up is Leopold.
Leo says, well, they're smaller. He's going to fly over here. He is going to try and shoot. Let's see what happens when he hits one of these things with a crossbow bolt. He's going to fire at the one nearest to him.
All right, flying up in the air, you aim your crossbow down in an arcing motion towards this pudding. Go ahead and make your attack. Yeah, that certainly connects, and this piercing damage seems to hurt it as this actually penetrates into this oily surface and pops it almost like an oily balloon, and it is destroyed.
It's all good. I'll fire the second bolt at the other one.
That'll connect as well, striking into it and damaging it, but it is still there, rolling around.
And let's see. Adam, question. Silver, I don't have vision on Silver. Does it make sense to have vision on Silver or to not?
Well, you can't actually see out of her eyes, and she doesn't do independent things unless you go down, so I would say no, but feel free to, you can shout commands to her, and we'll handle that as best we can.
Okay. Well, in that case, then I'm going to tell her, attack the other pudding.
Okay.
Which I think she's near.
She's reasonably close. Now, again, I would argue that probably what would make most sense for her here, she probably wouldn't enter those webs. I don't think she's particularly dumb or anything, so I would say she'd move to here and then attack the pudding. So feel free to make a strike with Silver.
Okay. Oh, and I guess, you know what? I forgot about the web. I'll drop concentration on that, too. So
all right, as you drop concentration on the web, you notice that sticky, spindly material suddenly sort of absorbs into the ground and is gone.
Okay. Silver is coming up.
All right, Silver leaps forward, biting into this big pudding and manages to connect and damages it.
Okay, good. And I think that is all for Leo.
Okay, bringing up the rear of the round here is Frederick.
Okay, Frederick's gonna move over just one to get a better line of sight, and yeah, so with both of his hands out in the general direction of both of the puddings as he's concentrating on Ranvon and Lexi, he's just going to focus each hand separately, and then you see the buildup, kind of like that Metroid Samus blast that you guys have seen him do before, and he's going to fire off a guiding bolt, and he's going to twin it and fire off at both of the puddings.
All right, first attack will be fairly straightforward, no issues there. Second one, however, you're going through a bit of cover here, so he is definitely going to get some cover against your strike.
Not a problem. Let me fire this to you. I'm going to upcast it to a second level, Adam.
Second level, okay.
So I think I gotta, because I'm twinning it, it's two separate guiding bolts. So this first one, I'll say, goes to the small guy.
Okay. All right, that will smack into him, and he lights up just for a moment before the pudding explodes and dissolves into the ground.
Now be sure to give me this second spell slot back after I shoot it off, but I'm going to fire it at the big pudding.
Ah, this one, as you
Favored by the gods.
Favored by the gods. Go ahead and burn that. Okay, you would miss. However, your divine inspiration perhaps causes the guiding bolt to refocus, and it does strike true, smacking into this pudding and damaging it.
Okay. And that was just 5 feet to move there, so he's going to spend 10 more to move here, just to make sure he's got a good eye on the fight in case he needs to heal somebody. In his turn.
All right, so in addition to that damage to the pudding, we notice that it's also lit up from that rider effect on Guiding Bolt as we move to the top of the next round with Brandel.
Okay, so I see that I want to go here, and I think it's the Spirit Guardians is actually like, 47% of the square.
I'll give you that. Yeah, it's not fully 50%, yeah.
Like I'm dodging. It doesn't give me a better line of sight for this creature. I said, Ranvon, I can't see the ooze. Move! And you feel a bonus action, a kinetic shove, Ranvon. I'm going to try to move you here.
Oh, he's trying to get you up front and close and personal with the pudding. Do you resist?
I'll let it happen. I trust him.
All right, you are shoved forward.
All right,
But,
now I get...
but for the narrative, he thinks it's a bad idea. He thinks he's like, oh, I don't know.
I just need to get closer. One step closer. Ah, fudge. Should go in there and just take damage and kill it right now. $3d8.
Well, if it helps make your decision, remember we said the only two people he could not see were Dell and Lexi.
Oh.
But it was Brandel and Lexi.
Nope, Dell and Lexi were the two that were up on the cliff that you didn't have line of sight to. Brandel was behind, so we just assumed you saw him.
Okay, boom. Let's see. So I was there 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, there's no argument. The cart, there's no argument of line of sight. Here you go, firebolt, done.
No argument, but yes, you are in an awkward position as you're straddling this wheelbarrow.
Yep.
You cast off a firebolt, which indeed strikes into the pudding, and you see it sizzles as it dissolves and is absorbed into the ground. All right, guys, with no other obvious threats remaining, we are out of this combat.
Sorry, Randon. I try to get a better shot.
No, but before that, scoop some of it up before it's all gone.
I'm not touching it. What stuff? Here? Anything on the ground, Adam?
You can see trace remnants of this black ooze, but it is pretty quickly getting into the ground and sort of dissolving, you might say.
Frederick's going to kind of flick both of his wrists, and the Shield of Faith is going to fall off of Lexi and Ranvon. And Adam, I want to move, I can't quite remember, but I want to move over to where the body of the other guy was that fell, the other monk. Is it in this general area?
So you saw one of the monks climb up here, so you presume one of the monks is up this way, and the other one fell here while he never got free of the webs.
Cool. So I'm going to walk around, and I'm going to, while they're down there, I'll, see if I can search his body, if Dale's not already doing it by the time I get there.
Dale, I'll help you.
All right, as you guys approach and start examining these bodies, the ominous sounds of the forest fade as warm singing fills the air. Beautiful fae forms step out from inside the trees surrounding the clearing. They raise their hands in a gesture of peace and smile at you.
Hello?
Is that
Hi.
just to Frederick?
They seem to
Oh.
appear all around you.
turn to the one that came right beside me, and I look, and I see it's kind of a peaceful. I'll kind of like give it a bow, curtsy, kind of bow my head and say, "Were they injuring your forest?"
You notice she steps out of this tree. Anybody proficient in nature can make a check here to see if you recognize these creatures.
Is this the campaign where no one has nature?
It could be. Maybe that's why I always ask for that one and no one ever says anything. All right, fair enough. So perhaps you don't necessarily recognize them. Their forms are obviously very fey in nature, but you don't perhaps notice them by name. All right, so you notice this feminine form that appears almost made up of branches and leaves and tree bark steps forward, and with this smile upon her face, she says, "Yes, these puddings, they were acting as some sort of disposal system. Those men were using them, but they tainted our area here. You can see the 2 trees that they destroyed all of the life out of."
We're more than happy to rid them from your forest. Are there more perpetrators anywhere nearby?
Those men, they come from the east. It is not too far in that direction. We've seen and heard activity over there.
I hope you can find peace, and we'll see what we can do about pushing those men out of the area.
What kind of activity could you describe what they do, or any structures that they may have?
You notice she looks towards you and kind of cowers a bit away from your presence here, Del. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check. You notice she kind of looks at you timidly, but then quickly warms up and she says, "Oh, yes, we heard the sound. It almost sounded like training, maybe. They were shouting and doing drills of some kind, I think."
Do you know how many?
Many. We heard many voices. I don't know an exact number, I'm sorry.
Do all of the men and women in that area, did they wear the same clothes as this one, the white robes?
And you see she looks down towards the body with a nod on her head and she says, "Yes, this seems to be what they all wear."
And then after she answers that, Frederick, in your mind, you hear, ask her about the 2 individuals that entered Candlekeep. Are they there? Describe them.
We can go investigate the area and see if we can make sure that whatever evils they're doing are put to an end. We're actually looking for 2 individuals who caused damage to a place my friend calls home. We're looking for a silver-haired man and a woman with black hair and a scar on her face. I know it's specific, but have you seen them there?
You notice
The man's supposed to be attractive.
her eyes light up with recognition as you say this, and she says, "Yes, I did see that man. He came here once before with another man, and they were pushing this wheelbarrow like these 2, and they dropped off bodies. He seemed like he was maybe a commander or somebody in charge."
Does it seem like maybe they answer to somebody as well, or are they the ruler, or is there like somebody you see who runs it?
"I'm sorry, I don't know. We only see what we see close to our trees."
That's fair. I appreciate the information you provided, and is there anything else that we can do to bring peace to your forest?
"If you wouldn't mind moving those bodies and perhaps investigating the trees, I hope they didn't leave anything behind that's destructive."
We'll do that.
Yes, we will do that. And then Elvish, Del goes, thank you very much for your time and your knowledge.
You notice she smiles at you as you say this and responds back to you in Elvish saying, "Thank you. You have done a great service to us here. In fact, All right, guys, roll time. Everybody roll me a d20. This can be public. We're just looking at whoever's the lowest roll. Uh-oh, we got a tie for low right now. Okay, Brandel.
Do they both die then?
Brandel and Frederick, please re-roll.
You first.
All right, so you notice each one of these sylvan forms approaches one of you, all of you except for Brandel. And as they approach each one of you, you notice they hold over a sort of vial that looks like it's carved from wood, and each one hands one of these vials over to you all as a gift.
Oh, thanks. What is it?
And you notice the one next to you does this little giggle as she puts her hand up to her lips and she says, "Oh, this is tree sap. It will heal your wounds."
Oh, thank you. Tree sap.
Del, well, go ahead, Leo.
Do you drink it or do you put it on the wound?
You drink it, silly.
Okay, thank you.
Brandel puts his ear horn in his ear. What did they say? What's happening?
Del reaches out and grabs it with his hands and gives a curt bow.
You notice a couple more bits of laughter and melodic sound as they sort of hum together, and you see they kind of drift away, get reabsorbed back into their trees.
As it disappears, I'm going to go back to looting this body in front of me.
The important stuff.
Okay, yeah. Surprisingly, this guy doesn't have much of anything on him. You notice he was striking with fists. He's wearing simple clothing. You do notice like a satchel at his side that seems to contain 10 darts. Other than that, he has nothing of interest.
Is he wearing black simple clothes with white robes?
He is indeed.
I'll strip him down to his undies.
All right, you get him down to his underoos as you have a suit of what you presume to be immortal lotus attire.
Any of them have the pages on them?
Not over here. Just a satchel with some darts.
Lexi, could you use these darts? You always need objects to throw, right?
Yeah, I'll take some darts.
It's not for bar games.
Says who?
Leo, do you want to search these bodies with me to have a look?
I was thinking that. Let's take a gander, see if we can figure out anything who these ones are.
All right, so if one of you wants to take the lead on investigation here, you can have advantage, as I believe both of you are proficient in it.
Go ahead, Leo.
Wow.
All right, so you spend some time looking around this area here, checking out the bodies and noticing these oddly, almost desiccated trees. It seems as though the puddings here, having lived in these holes in the tree, have drained the life force, you might say, of the trees themselves. You don't notice anything of particular interest on the bodies. They seem to be bodies of maybe commoners or other travelers. They wear a variety of attire, which you would place of Sword Coast residents, Sword Coast citizens, you might say. Some of them look to be more like merchant type clothes. Others look like farmers. So you can't really place any kind of, or draw any kind of inferences for the attire or who these people would be. But interestingly enough, as you examine these two holes in the trees here, Leo, you notice that while the pudding seems to have burned away most everything, you might notice a couple bone bits here and there of leftover humanoid or animal remains. But very interestingly is a brightly colored box that really catches your eye inside one of these holes.
Ooh. Leo's gonna... the box, does it look like there's any, I guess, leftover ooze or anything stuck to it or around it, or maybe a bear trap around it?
Not that you see. As you kind of like lean over, get a little bit better look, it is bright red, and you notice gear work on 3 faces of the box. You presume that it may have on each of the faces. It almost resembles a 6-sided die, but larger, perhaps 6 inches by 6 inches by 6 inches.
Yeah, he'll grab it, pull it towards him.
You extract the box from the tree and hold it aloft in your hand.
Oh. This is I like this box. Bendo, come here.
Yeah, it seems like something you could make.
It's like a water clock, but there's no water. It's very interesting.
It's like a puzzle box.
Oh,
Wasn't there one of those?
Put it back in the tree. If it's a puzzle box, put it back. Put it back.
Well,
But this
is
one doesn't look
causing-
infernal.
Is this the influence that's corrupting the trees?
I don't know.
Maybe it was. Maybe the guys who dumped the body didn't search it first or couldn't find it because you're so good at finding things. Lucky you. What do you make of it?
Adam, do I make anything of it?
Based on an investigation, no. It is very interesting looking. Like I say, it definitely draws your eye. You notice these gears on each side of them. It's obviously some mechanical work. I guess what I could say you probably notice of it is much like you were giving your description earlier of silver, how it's more arcane at this point. Based on your investigation check, I would say you definitely notice that this could not simply be created by the hand of man.
So, there's something divine
Well-
about this, actually, surprisingly. Or arcane divine.
It's quite interesting. I don't know if we have enough time or save plays, but I'd have to meditate on it and identify it, and at least take a few minutes to do that. Sadly, as you all know.
Well, it sounds like they gave us some good directions on where we need to go next. I didn't see, do we need to take a little rest, or are we okay?
I'm fine, and I'm gonna walk over to this guy here, the lotus that died here, Adam, and search it while we're thinking about that.
Very similarly, you find only the darts, which I assume Lexi has already procured from this body as well. You see he has the outfit of, again, you presume to be the immortal lotus attire. Other than that, no belongings.
Okay, I'll add the darts. How many?
There was 20 total, so however many Lexi took, then whatever's left over, unless she took all of them.
Oh, she can have them all.
Frederick did undress that guy as well, so he's got 2 sets of the immortal lotus attire. And thinking to what the creatures from the tree said about getting rid of the bodies, he's gonna, see if he can start loading up, any of the corpses back into the wheelbarrow to kind of get them out of the area so it can kind of re-heal.
And Dell will help.
Okay, yeah, between the two of you guys, spend a little bit of time dragging these corpses, sort of dumping them back in the wheelbarrow. This is the easy part, but the real question is going to be, where would you like to take and put these bodies?
So while they're doing that, Adam, I'm just gonna say I'm gonna find a place maybe back here, and I get my book out. And I'm just gonna. You guys recognize that Brandel's checking out for a minute. He's focusing on that box, the mechanics box,
Okay, so you're casting the spell as an action,
as a ritual.
as a ritual. Okay, so you're spending 11 minutes then.
Yeah, that might take 11 minutes for them to figure out how to lift these bodies and depose it somewhere.
All right, so after about 4 minutes, you guys have the bodies in the wheelbarrow. Where would you like to take them?
Should we head east with them, and then we can leave them outside of the encampment?
Frederick's
and once we're done
following
there,
you.
we can
Mm-hmm.
attend to the bodies.
Yep. That sounds like a plan, Dell. I think we're on the same wavelength there. We'll just take them with us for now, because we may need to dispose of more bodies. If we need to get them out of the forest for those creatures, then...
I don't think burying them here would be appropriate, and setting a pyre would clearly signal our arrival.
Yeah, perhaps a
Well,
pyre
I-
afterwards. Oh,
Fire's
sorry,
probably not the right way to go about it. How many are there?
I think there's 3, right?
Checking the bodies here, you count a total of 4.
It's probably not a good idea to do it before we finish clearing the forest head, but I could cast Speak with Dead, and we could figure out where they're from and where they should go back to.
That is true. So let's take them with us for now, yeah?
Sure.
I mean, they don't deserve to just be laid here on the forest floor.
If we run into more puddings, though, just make sure that they're far enough away that they don't get absorbed or dissolved or whatever they ended up doing to the others.
Can I gather that this looked like maybe like a dumping pit, Adam?
Absolutely, yeah. Coupled with the information that you've gotten from these Fey creatures, where they pretty much told you exactly that. That is exactly the conclusion you draw here, Frederick. It looks like the immortal Lotus guys were using this as body disposal.
And on the bodies as we're loading them, they all look like they've died of martial arts blows. Can I make that conclusion?
Give me a medicine check.
Maybe they're being tortured.
You definitely notice some signs of martial arts damage on them, sort of like strong punches, strong kicks, but you also notice a very severe lack of nourishment in one of them. Another one of them has the telltale signs of being whipped, perhaps. So you see a variety of wounds. What exactly led to their death is hard to say.
I'm thinking that a dumping ground, it could be a number of things. If it, like they said, it sounded like a training area, perhaps those that didn't make the cut, or Dell, you said that you were investigating people being attacked on the way from Baldur's Gate to Candlekeep, so could be maybe they were taken and captured and tortured. What I gather from this, though, is there may be more prisoners there.
Yeah. Perhaps they were traveling with somebody that had books, trying to get into Candlekeep. I guess we're on the right path, and we know where we need to go.
Makes me very angry. Treating people that way.
I agree with you. Before we head off from here, once Brandel's ready, was there anything we could do about these trees? I mean, they wanted us to look into them, but should we just cut them down?
I can smash them.
I think maybe there was something within them that was tainting them, so we rid them of the puddings, and I think perhaps maybe Leopold finding that box, that may have been what they were talking about. Because it's obvious that that is not part of nature, that is not supposed to be there.
Which one did you find the box in, Leo?
That one over there.
And I head over to the other one.
Okay, fine.
Okay, well, is there still a box in this one, then, that we should look for and remove?
Oh, I see what you're doing.
You search in this other tree looking for another box, perhaps, but do not find one. I would say it's about this time that Brandel's Identify spell finishes in the ritual, and the text has been revealed in the handout. High-level summary is this is a very interesting box known as the Mechanist box. When it is touched by a willing medium creature, the creature can be transported into the box, which acts as a sort of stasis. When they do so, if there are already other creatures in the box which can hold a maximum of 2, they get to decide which one is released.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yes, but what is already in there?
Don't know. Do you want to go in and see?
You could put like a monster in there and then carry it around in your pocket.
It says willing creature. If we could somehow suggest that they are willing, that may work. Hey man, you really want to touch this box, don't you?
Well, it says when touched by willing, so there has to be intent, Adam, like I'm touching it to go into the box, right?
Correct, yes. You can't be tricked. You would essentially, as touching this, you have to... You kind of get a feeling of what is going to happen. Maybe not all the exact details, but you have to willingly, knowingly choose to use it.
can't make someone, hey, pick up. I suggest you pick up that box.
Right? Yeah, it's not the light grenade from Mom and Dad Save the World. Where hey, light grenade, ah.
That's got to be it then, right? There's, it's obvious that's from another mechanist. From I look over at Brandon and I say, from all of your research with the planes, is Mechanus a plane like Avernus?
Yeah, that is a good question. I wonder if this is an ethereal plane or a plane of existence, Adam. Like, where, or is it a?
If you are proficient in Arcana, you can make a check here.
I'll inspiration that.
Okay, Brandel, you recognize Mechanus as being associated with a very lawful and orderly plane, but you don't recall too many details about it. It's certainly not one of the more popular planes that there's like exhaustive tomes written about. So this one's a little bit more challenging to recall any information. Frederick, probably similarly, you've heard of Mechanus before, but you don't know much in the way of details about it. Something I would say both of you associate constructs, perhaps, with Mechanus?
I think if we rid that box of this forest, we'll be doing what they asked. But that's my personal opinion. I don't quite know for sure. But I mean, the trees fall in forest all the time. I believe stumps are supposed to be here.
I'm gonna. Is there any way I could tell if someone's in the box or creatures in the box?
Your identify spell did not reveal if anybody is inside.
I can't tell if it's empty or not.
So, if any of us were to go inside the box, can we willingly exit the box, or
No.
we're trapped?
You can decide. Actually, it says you can decide if you want to come back, right?
No, once you are in the box, the only way to get out of the box is somebody else going into the box, at which point they can select to have you released from the box.
Okay, so a maximum of 2 creatures can be stored in the box. So if one creature's in there, I go in there, I'm stuck until someone else comes in there, then it's this perpetual rotation.
So, do we think that came with the monks? I mean, it doesn't really look like it's their style, does it?
Looks like Leo's style.
But hear out my reasoning. These oozes, they were used as like a disposal service, and then they just hung out in that tree because they knew that more bodies would come, right? So whatever was on one of these creatures may have been absorbed by one of those oozes and left behind.
So at some point, someone with this box got eaten.
Something could be in that right now.
Oh,
Well-
I think for sure something's got to be inside it.
Do you think 2 more of these guys are inside to force these oozes out?
I don't quite know if this has anything to do with the Immortal Lotus. It may be completely unrelated.
Mm-hmm.
But we do know that the compound is to the east, and that there are multiple people there. And also, did you realize that we are standing in a Judeo-Christian cross right now?
Judeo-Christian, what is that? You mean Lathander? Anyway.
Well, I'll just hold on to it then, if no one objects.
Why don't we
I
tuck
would
that away?
I would like to know what's inside, but it doesn't sound like there's any way to know what's inside unless we go in ourselves. And then the thing that comes out probably doesn't want to go back in.
Or you're the second person and there's no choice.
So
It holds 2 people. Yep.
perhaps we table this discussion. There's more pressing matters to the east.
Agreed.
But definitely interesting, and something we definitely will investigate. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yes.
May I hold on to
Yes.
it?
Oh, of course.
Oh, thank
Del,
you.
you can have it.
Why would anybody want to go in the box? I'm confused.
To hide.
Hide, or if you're hurt, maybe?
Well, it says you don't age. What if perhaps maybe you wanted to extend your life, or maybe it was an escape plan?
Or if Asmodeus is coming to kill you and take your soul, one could hide there.
Yeah, maybe,
Random.
Brando.
Or you got tricked.
There's several reasons why it might be a good idea to jump in there. Um, Pointedly, I think you're onto something there, Brandel. If you get in trouble at some point, maybe we need to stuff you in there, just to until we can figure out a better way to deal with things.
That is a level of trust that I openly allow you guys to have. If I need to jump in there, I will do it.
We'll see. I don't think we know exactly how that works either, so maybe we I'm gonna say not wait until the last minute, but I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right. Are we off then?
Yes, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so
Frederick's
having
gonna-
been given this information by these Fey creatures that there's something to the east, a not too far distance, it sounds like you guys would like to grab onto this wheelbarrow, as Frederick has already done so, and you're going to start moving towards the east, seeing if you can find this location they're referring to.
Someone put on the robes. What do you think?
I mean, we could have two people infiltrate with the robes on. But how about
Hey.
we walk and talk, yes?
Why don't we? Yes.
I mean, I can change clothes because I don't need to wear armor, so it would not affect me.
All right, fair enough. So I will assume you guys have gathered the wheelbarrow and you are making your way off to the east. Eventually, without going too far, you're able to find some tracks pretty easily that are not hidden well at all. And those tracks lead you to the western edge of a secluded glade. The trees partially obscure what appears to be several wooden structures in the clearing, but these are dwarfed by a tower-sized monument at the far end, resembling a giant lotus blossom hewn out of solid rock and bursting out of the earth.
Well, this has got to be the place.
Yeah, so as you guys are getting closer here, I heard you say walk and talk, but it doesn't take you long at all to get there. It's about 500 yards away from the area that you're currently in. So I'm going to move you over to this other map. I've got a area set up where you can decide your marching order and which way you came in, and this is how you are walking into this space.
Okay. And I'll say that I'll try to put the wheelbarrow off maybe in between a tree or two trees where it's out of view, but I can easily find it again.
Fair enough, yes. We'll assume the wheelbarrow is just a bit behind you then.
All right. Infiltrate or rush?
Well, I
What-
am
do
not
we see-
I vote for we just cautiously observe and then walk in.
Yeah, do we see any people, Adam?
You may, but I'm waiting for you to select the
Okay.
position that you're in before revealing what you see.
I'm good.
All right, I'll do a quick countdown here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Locking the tokens. All right, so as you enter this area, you notice towering over you is a gate with 2 carved stone columns and a gabled roof made from bark tiles. Above the gateway hangs a wooden plaque painted with a white lotus on a black circle. Beyond the gate is a well-kept gravel path that passes through a small forest of vertical stone slabs and ancient trees. As you're entering this area at a distance and approach, you are able to see indeed that there are some individuals that you recognize dressed in similar attire to those that you just spotted. In particular, you notice one man, or I would say some of you do based on where you're standing. He is actually up on this steel, so think of it as a metal beam that raises into the air. He's sort of up there, crane style, you might say. And as you see him, he's obviously spotted you as you guys have gotten closer. You see he looks towards your group and he says, "Very few people would dare to come here." He's perched about 20 feet above you and he's balanced with his legs braced between 2 of the larger stone columns. He has a slim, athletic build and stares at you with piercing green eyes. Around him are some younger individuals who are similarly balanced on the stone slabs. With the grace of a bird, he floats down from the slab. silently landing on the ground as he draws a 9-section chain whip from around his waist. You've got courage, I'll give you that. But before you get a chance to fight back you'll have to deal with me, Steel Crane. And we are going into initiative, folks.
Well, that saves a lot of role play.
This guy got silver hair at him.
He does indeed.
This dude's sweet.
Mid-30s. He's definitely handsome.
Objectively.
It's got to be him.
All right, so we push on over to our initiative here, and obviously we've got to get some more high-paced action music going. All right, so as this is occurring, you're noticing these guys moving. You notice very quickly moving from the one of these steels, again drifting down with very little effort, is another one of these White Lotus monks. As he is on the ground here, he quickly moves forward to here, and when he does so, Brandel, you're going to notice as he's approaching, he's actually reaching at his side, and he flings these darts right towards you. Doing a quick check on AC. Is your AC currently 19?
Yes.
All right, so here comes the darts. The first one critically hits you, Brandel.
Boo.
All right, this is going to be a true crit. So that will pierce into you for 6 points of damage. He then follows up with a second one. This one, however, misses. The next quickest to react is Lexi.
Alrighty. She's gonna go use all her movement to go right there and smack this guy. Oh, and before she does that, she's gonna rage.
Okay, you get to here, and once again, you are going to get that other effect, the new one. So you issue forth that guttural cry, and this is actually going to affect 2 of them at this point. So here comes some wisdom saving throws. The guy next to you is going to succeed, suffering no damage. However, the other one is affected by this psychic lash. Go ahead and roll that damage, Lexi. All right, he is psychically scarred. That is your bonus action. You are now raging.
All right, I'm gonna take my battle axe, try and smash it into this guy.
Yes, that will indeed connect as you slash down. He tries to quickly evade, but he is struck.
Smack him again.
That one will connect as well as you chop down and cut into his arm.
That's for the avowed. How dare you, you slug.
All right, and next up is him. As you strike into him, you notice he looks towards you in anger, and he is going to, let's see, what is he going to do? Yeah, he's actually going to try to hit you. So he moves very quickly, first punching out towards you, which is going to miss. He will then follow that up with a kick, which will miss, and then he will try to sweep the leg. This one will manage to connect. You will be hit for 5 points of force damage, Lexi, and I will need a Constitution saving throw. All right, you succeed on that as you feel your body kind of get rigid for a moment, but you're able to shake off that effect. He is then going to quickly move backwards. To here. Let me double check real quick. Yes, you do. You are qualified for an opportunity attack there, Lexi, if you'd like to take it. Yeah, that will connect as well as you slash in towards him and catch him in the arm as he's escaping. Okay, we will move next to Leopold.
Leo, this gate is open right now?
It is, yes.
Okay. He's gonna move 10 feet. He's gonna turn around, fire crossbow bolts at the guy to his north. Did we sharpshooter this? Yeah, let's try it. Okay, so he's going to use sharpshooter, and he's going to fire off at the one to the north.
All right.
He's not at advantage.
No. So you sharpshooter this, striking towards the guy just to your north. Both of these bolts will manage to connect as he struck in both sides of his body and wounded.
Okay, and then I will keep moving forward. That was 10 feet to get where I'm at. 20, 25, 30. And then Silver is going to follow up and go over here, and she is going to attack Mr. Monk. Adrian Monk.
Yeah, she reaches forth, grabbing onto his thigh, and does indeed wound him.
Great. And I think that is everything I've got.
All right, next up is this guy's turn, who emerges from behind this tree, Leo, rushing right up next to you and lashing out. Critically hitting you on the first strike.
Leo.
And here goes that leg.
This will be a true crit as he smashes into you. That will be 16 points of force damage and a dexterity saving throw. That indeed,
Nice.
There goes the leg as he smashes really hard into your leg and knocks you prone. He follows up with a second attack, now at advantage. This one also connects for 6 points of force damage. Okay, then this one's turn. Seeing this commotion here, he's going to rush forward as well, putting Leo in a flank advantage plus flank. Critically hitting Leo.
WTF, man.
Sent reeling, so maximum damage, and push the creature up to 15 in any direction. So he's going to knock you away from your allies here. So you get sent reeling as he hits you as hard as he can and just kicks you along the ground. You're going to suffer 11 points of damage from that, and then you're going to notice he quickly follows up and makes that next attack at advantage. Leo's AC is 16. This will connect as well.
Shield.
Shield on the ground, burning your reaction, setting your AC to 21. Go ahead and burn that slot.
Yeah.
All right, he punches solidly into your shield and you suffer no damage. As we move to Frederick's turn.
And also when the crit hits, since it's only 11 damage, after Leo kind of gets his wits together, he'll shout back at him, "You call that a hit?" And carry on.
Okay, fair enough. Frederick's turn.
Frederick, seeing all of that go down, is going to kind of stoically walk behind Dell and place his hand on his shoulder and look at Dell and say, "You take care of Leo, I'll take care of Brandal." And then as he does it, he looks really sharply at the guy who threw the dart at him and said, "Your mind is mind." And he's going to cast Mind Sliver on him.
You cast Mind Sliver towards this guy, but he is not affected as his willpower is too strong.
Can I use my inspiration to make him re-roll?
You can, if that's what you'd like to burn it on.
Sure, why not?
Oof, now it is a fumble for you. So go ahead and roll fumble.
It's very on par for Frederick.
Yeah, so you really try this really hard, but man, it's no, it does not work. This guy effortlessly shakes off your spell.
Yeah, he tries to look like a superhero, but it doesn't work in his favor. And before Dell takes off, he's going to use his bonus action to just place a Shield of Faith on him.
All right, you bonus action, and that is on Dell.
Yes, sir.
All right, Dell, you find yourself protected with that shield, and we move to Dell's turn.
Okay, so first off, Dell is going to cast Tasha's Mind Whip on the two guys next to Leo, he's going to upcast to a 3rd level spell, so he can target 2 within 30 feet of each other.
Okay, that'll certainly work. Okay, so here comes some intelligence saving throws. So top guy, then bottom guy. Top guy will succeed.
So half damage.
Bottom guy will succeed. So half damage to
Half
both.
damage. Yep.
Alright, as both of them are able to shake off the worst of these effects.
And then Del will go right here. And let's see here, where is it? Quicken. So many things to look up. I am going to quicken spell a booming longsword attack for the one that is in flank with Leo.
Okay, go ahead and burn those sorcery points as you make this a bonus action strike with Quicken.
Yep, fine.
So Leo
Sorry.
currently has a crossbow, so just be aware he doesn't provide flank bonus because he doesn't have a melee weapon.
That's fine.
Alright, you slash out at this guy, but do not connect as he avoids your strike.
Okay. And then I guess that's everything.
Alright, this guy's turn. He's going to rush forward and start with a flying, leaping kick right towards Lexi's face, which connects.
Ah!
Hitting into Lexi for 7 points of force damage and a dex save. Alright, that flying kick knocks you off your feet, Lexi, as you fall prone. He then jumps up in the air and brings down his knee, trying to smash it right into your chest at advantage. Critically hitting you. Smash knocks you off balance, damage is normal. Next attack against a creature has advantage. Well, you're already prone, so that's probably not going to have too much of an effect, but here comes normal damage. Alright, that's going to be 11 points of force damage as we move to Brandel's turn.
Alright, Brandel doesn't like this guy here, so Brandel sees him coming. He reaches in his pouch, draw his wand of magic missiles. He's going to throw one charge on this creature here. Magic missile coming your way.
Alright, you flick the wand and the 3 darts fly out and effortlessly strike into him. He cannot evade them as he is damaged.
Alright, then action, then movement 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can't see past this tree. Boo. 30?
Dynamic lighting be like that, yo.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to try to shove you, Leo, get you out of there. I'm blocked by the tree. I don't have the
It's all
angle here.
good. I'll be fine.
Bummer. Okay, that's my action was the magic missile movement. Bonus action was that. That's what I'll do.
Alright, Ranvon at negative initiative decides to finally take a turn. What would you like to do, Ranvon?
Okay. This guy didn't die from the magic missiles.
He did not. He's still standing. He looks quite badly hurt, though.
Okay. I'm going to hit him with a sacred flame, killing him instantly.
Alright, let's see it. You conjure that sacred flame. He tries to dodge. He does not dodge at all. And indeed you do, as that radiant fire burns him down and he drops.
Okay, this structure ahead of me, it has its legs are here and here, right?
You
like
got
I
it.
can walk underneath it.
Yep, think of it sort of as like a huge U shape upside down.
Okay, cool. I am going to move to right here, 20 feet, and then I will use Embodiment of the Law to cast Bless as a bonus action. And I will target Lexi, Del, and Leo.
Alright, the 3 of you are blessed. Go ahead and add that on your sheet and put some kind of icon on your character token so we know you are blessed.
And I've got 10 more feet of movement, so I will step to here.
All right, fair enough. You push in a little further. Okay, we're at the top of the round, but we're halfway through our session, guys. So let's go ahead and pause here for our 15-minute break.
Sounds good.
Copy that.
Okay.
Sounds good.
See you 15.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are back from break. So quick game notes here. Unfortunately, Natalie had to step away, so I will be controlling Lexi for the remainder of the session. And also a mechanical note, Ranvon at the end of last session cast a bluff spell, and one of his abilities is he is able to allow one of the targets of that spell to make a reaction attack if they wish. So Ranvon, who is it that you would like to target with that?
I will let Dell attack the monk closest to me.
Okay, so Del, you would have to use your reaction to do so and strike the one that is northeast of you.
All right. And
the way this is worded, Del, just so you're aware, it says can make one weapon attack.
one weapon attack. Perfect.
All right, you slash out and do indeed connect on this monk. Go ahead and post damage.
Am I able to smite?
You can, yeah. Oh, yeah, in case that didn't come through. Yes, you can smite. All right, you slash out
Fourth
towards towards the monk. You do indeed connect as that radiant energy channels down your blade and strikes him.
And then okay, yep, should be good.
Okay, so we're at the top of the round here. It is Lexi's turn. She's currently prone, so she's going to spend half her movement to stand up. And she will then strike out at this monk nearest to her, as it is now engaged turn. So she will swing out with her battle axe a couple of times. She will connect on both of these slashes as she slashes into the monk and wounds him. And in doing so, she's going to just shift over to here, and then we'll move to the next turn. All right, this is Steel Crane, as he so boldly announced. He is going to... Yeah, what is he going to do? He's in a bit of a predicament here, but actually I think what he's going to do is you're not going to really see much other than maybe you hear him shout out something very brief, very jagged, like a whoop kind of thing. Okay, and then we will move to Leopold's turn, who's currently prone next to one of these monks, trying to stomp a mud hole in him.
He'll groan and kind of just grunt his way back up to standing, and oh shit, we're gonna just step away from him and take this attack of opportunity.
All right, you step away from him, and he indeed will take that opportunity attack. When he does so, he tries to sweep your leg.
Stop it. Shield.
All right, go ahead and burn another shield slot. And yes, that will hit into your shield, and you are not struck. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm sorry. Your AC is 16, right? So that sets your AC to 21. He rolled a 15. Yes. Yeah, he actually will still hit.
Oh my god. Okay.
So it will be 10 points of force damage, and when he sweeps the leg, I'll need another dexterity saving throw.
And no, that's boy. If it's an 18, then that's fortunate.
It sounds to me like you're happy with what you rolled, so yes, you are able to evade getting knocked to the ground once again.
Okay. So, we're gonna blast away at this guy now. Sharpshooter with Bless on. Here we go.
First attack does puncture into him, hitting him into his hand. Second one, go ahead and roll that crit. Alright, this will be a true crit, so I will take both of those damage dice there as the bolt punctures into him in his leg. He is looking very badly hurt.
I bet he is, and I'm going to Arcane Jolt him at the end of that. For another 6.
Alright, so that Arcane Jolt lashes out towards him and wounds him.
And then Silver is going to follow up. Coming right through here. And here, and here, and here. And right here. And she's going to attack with flanking, it looks like.
That will be a flank, yes. Alright, Silver manages to lunge up and hit him for exactly enough damage to drop him to the ground, and he crumples.
Like all of the Kung Fu movies when the protagonist has been getting his butt kicked for most of it, Leo will wipe the smear of blood off of his mouth and spit to the ground as this guy goes down. And he is going to move. That's 5, 10. He's got one more square movement. He's going to go right here. That's his turn.
Alright, next up is this guy. Currently has 2 targets, but he noticed that Ranvon just cast the spell, so he's going to focus his efforts on Ranvon and try to break that concentration. So Ranvon, you see him spin around, first try to hit you with an elbow. And your AC is currently 21, so this will strike into your shield as he follows this up with a kick. And that will miss as well, unable to connect. Move to Frederick's turn.
Okay, doke, Adam. How tall is the gate here? Like in height?
This one is very large, so I'd say probably about 50 feet.
It's too high for me to Misty Step on top of, huh?
Yes.
Okay, doke. So then I'm just gonna run under it. I'm gonna go to here. Alright, and as he runs through here, he's gonna stop and he's gonna like charge up a lot of energy in his right hand, and he's just gonna punch twice towards this guy, and he's gonna cast 2 of his Eldritch Bolts that way, and he's gonna throw the other one at the one near Lexi.
Alright, first one will miss as the monk dodges. Second one manages to connect in him, knocking him in the side. Third bolt flashes out towards the one by Lexi and catches him in the lower back.
Perfect. That'll end my turn for now.
Alright, looks like Dell is up next.
Yeah. So I'm gonna move here, and can I get there? Can I flank?
Yeah, you can get there, yep.
Okay. I'm gonna make 2 attacks with my longsword.
Alright, you step into that flank position against that monk, and yeah, go ahead and make your attacks. First one, unfortunately, will miss. Second one does manage to connect with that bless and flank.
Just a first level smite.
Alright, you pump some more radiant damage into that blow, and he is knocked asunder here, looking very badly hurt, barely on his feet.
Okay. Crap. Yeah, I guess that'll end my turn.
Okay, next up is this monk who's going toe-to-toe with Lexi and will continue to do so. He tries to kick first. This will miss as then he does like a jump spin kick. This one will manage to connect against Lexi. Hitting into her for I believe that's 4 points of damage against her, yes. Okay, after that, he will try to knock her to her feet with that kick. So here comes her save, Dex. Oop, actually, I should have rolled that from her sheet. But anyhow, she is going to... I think that's going to be a success. Yes, she is going to evade that, and she remains on her feet. Okay, we move to Brandel.
All right, so can you guys hear me? Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, so Brandel's got his hand in the tree. He's going to peek around the corner here. Let's see what he can see at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I don't see that guy. Oh, wait, I think I do. I think I see him. One more movement to step up here. Dang it. It blocked my vision. Oh, I had him. Okay. From there, seeing that Lexi's got that dude right there, I'm going to throw a... this guy here, up here by Lexi, is going to get mind slivered. So I reach, I just verbally say, I'm in your head.
Yes, he is indeed affected by this as the psychic energy racks his brain.
Good.
All right, and I believe that's the one that has the rider effect. Yeah, go ahead and throw that D4. We'll throw that on his token. We move to Ranvon's turn.
Okay, I'm going to swing out with my mace at the guy between me and Dell.
All right, he's looking much worse for wear as you smack out with your mace. Let's see it. With the flank, that will indeed connect, and as you smash into him, he crumples as well.
Okay, it looks like Lexi has that under control, so I'll move up 15. I can't see the big bad, so I'm going to take another 15 here and end my turn.
Okay, we move up to Lexi's turn, and indeed she thinks she does have this under control. She slashes out with her axe at that guy, but that's going to miss, and I'm going to open her sheet and actually swing from there. All right, she takes a second attack. This one will connect, and yes, that will drop this guy to the ground as well. In her rage, she's going to say, he went behind the tree! And she'll like kind of rush over to here, and then she'll say, yeah, right there! And she points to the south. On this guy's turn, he is actually going to step up swiftly, striking out at Lexi with a kick, which will miss, and he will then follow that up with a punch, which will critically hit. Oof, this is a rough one. All right, maximum amount of damage, normal dice, then roll another damage die, add the result, then a minor injury. I don't think Lexi is wearing heavy armor.
No, she's a barb. She's got that unarmored thing.
Yes, definitely not. Okay, so this is going to be a minor injury. Okay, who wants to roll the minor injury against Lexi?
I'll do it since it's on me.
All right, go ahead and roll on that chart as I deduct these HP. Okay, she is badly beaten and will have disadvantage on con saves until she completes a long rest. So let's give her some kind of a symbol for that. How about a food symbol, meaning she's hungry for some reason. But okay, and then here comes the damage. Okay, she's struck by that, and then in addition, this guy has a rider effect on his strike, so here comes a con save from Lexi, now at disadvantage. All right, and you're going to notice Lexi is stunned. All right, with that, he will then move down to here, and he's going to take a third attack against... yeah, I think that makes sense. He'll take a third attack against Ranvon. This one will miss. He will then step away. Ranvon, you can use an opportunity attack if you wish.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you do manage to catch him sort of in the leg as he's retreating here, and he's wounded. All right, after that, we move to Leopold's turn.
Okay. Moving. That's the best way up here. Boom. I got you, sucker. I'm going to fire a couple of bolts at him, not sharpshooter.
All right, you move into position, get a line of fire on him. You fire off with the first strike, and thanks to that bless spell, that will indeed connect as the bolt punctures into him, and the second one hits as well. As you see, he is torn very badly by both of these piercing strikes.
Let's, because I hate this guy, let's throw an arcane jolt on there.
All right, as that jolt pops up, you notice this is enough to drop him to the ground. All right, and obviously as you guys look around, some of you may be able to see others in the distance, but based on the shouting and what is occurring here, either they don't notice you or they haven't taken any action yet. We are out of this combat.
Leo's going to start cure woundsing himself with his spell storing item.
There's more of them down the road. Get off the road if you don't want to be seen.
After Lexi's stun wears off, you see she starts moving quickly towards your direction. And Del, she seems to be looking towards you in particular. And as she comes down, she says, "You know what? Give me that box. I'm going to try it."
And Del pulls out the box, and he puts it in her arm, and he disappears.
Okay. All right, so Del, meaning you're activating the box, I take it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so pick 1 or 2.
2.
Okay, so you notice that Del activates the box and seemingly vanishes here, and Lexi does the same thing. So after Del vanishes, you notice this sort of translucent form begins to replace where Del was. And before it even fully materializes, you notice Lexi does the same thing, and she vanishes. So I will remove both of these tokens from the map. All right, so yes, as FYI for our watchers and for the team, Brad unfortunately has to leave today at 9 o'clock, so he's taking an early exit here, I assume. So yes, as those two forms have merged into the box here, 2 other forms replace. Any final comments, Brad, before we let you go?
Nope. Fun session. I like the idea of the box. And good luck, and I'll be back next week. Take care.
Sounds good. Good luck, Brad. Thanks. All
See you,
right.
Brad.
So, guys, these 2
See ya.
forms that appear, the first one that replaces Del, you notice a taller-ish woman suddenly appears here. As she does so, you can see she is clad in very heavy-looking armor, a large halberd slung at her back, and silver white hair cascades down her back. You can see sort of piercing brownish eyes. You notice she suddenly appears and looks around very warily. She notices you all, and you see a hand kind of starts going towards her halberd. But as you notice the other form then appears very close by, you see her eyes suddenly open with much joy as she looks towards the second figure, who seems to be a perhaps younger half-elven man with short, dark hair here that hangs just below, like at his chin line. You can see he is like wearing more what you might consider traveling clothes, has this kind of cloak that goes over his back, and these hazel eyes that are very brilliant. The 2 of them quickly embrace one another, and you can hear sounds of both surprise and happiness between the 2.
Excuse me? Are you all right?
As you ask this, you notice the woman is the first to sort of pull back, and as she does, she places a hand out firmly, and she says, "Step back, all of you. Who are you? Do not endanger us."
Well, actually, we were going to ask you the same thing, because 2 of our friends just went into the box and you came out. So who are you first?
You know, she turns and like spins over towards you, Leo, and as she looks towards you, she says, "The box, well, that thing has been nothing but trouble, but at the same time," and you notice the guy here says, "No, don't, darling, it's actually been quite good. It's been very helpful. We haven't been out in a while, guys. I'm sorry if we seem confused or disheveled, but it's been a long time since we've been. This is the prime material, is it?"
It is.
I think so.
I'm gonna walk up and pull out my water skin, and I'm gonna extend it outward and say, "We're definitely not here to injure you, but two of our friends just entered the box you just left from. Can you give us? Are they safe?"
"Oh, yes, they are quite safe indeed. In fact, they may find the experience quite pleasurable. In the box, it's very interesting, but Gertrude's never particularly liked it. But sometimes when she's inside the box, well, then she realizes how much she does like." And you notice Gertrude kind of puts a hand out towards him on his shoulder, not roughly, but firmly, and she looks back and says, "First, as I said, you're going to answer my questions. Who are all of you?"
My name is Frederick Young, proprietor and leader of Lulu's Legion and Sticks and Scones Tavern. How are you?
You notice she looks towards you again, a bit confused, and kind of shakes her head and spins around and says, "What? Perhaps Frederick. Okay, well, perhaps more importantly is, where are we?"
Well, we're in the Cloakwood. We are infiltrating a group of highly trained monks who attacked and killed 2 people at Candlekeep. We found that box while we were disposing of a couple of the monks we found.
I suppose that makes sense. How could it have gotten there? And you see she turns, "Philorane, do you have any thoughts on this?" And you see he looks back towards her, and he's kind of looking around, almost in amazement here, and he says, "Oh, I forget how much the real world looks different than the dreams in the box. But, you see he stretches his hand out, and you don't see anything he's touching there, but it's almost like he's trying to feel something before he kind of shakes and turns back to you all, and he says, "Yes, this is quite interesting. Not as good as the box in some ways, but in other ways, yeah, I suppose it's all right. Oh, the box was in a tree? Is that what I heard? Tree?"
Underneath some black pudding.
"Huh, well, that's quite odd. I don't know how it could have gotten there. Well, I'm sure it's got a long story that probably accompanies it, but, well, I suppose you probably don't all care about that. You're infiltrating this place," and you see he kind of looks around. It's actually pretty lovely here. Far away from the sea, though. I don't smell any sea air."
Actually, closer than you believe. Just outside of the forest here, and a quick trip to the east.
"Really?" And you see he looks in that direction, kind of sniffs and smells. "Huh, strange. I certainly don't smell the sea anywhere close by."
Ranvon at this moment pulls one of the bodies off the road, so it can't be seen. He goes, "This is nice and all, but if we want to chat, we should either step further back into the woods, and if we want to finish this up, if you wouldn't mind giving us a hand, then we can keep going forward. But there's still some men who would very much like to murder us here."
"Oh, foul of sorts, I am sure." And you notice the woman who has been named Gertrude here kind of puffs up a bit and says, "Murderers, eh? Never liked those kind of people. I suppose we can probably give you a hand here. Just keep the box nearby. Sometimes it just kind of pulls us back in."
I'll keep a hold of it. It's safe with me.
"Whoa, I didn't even notice you. How old are you?"
Well, I creep around a little bit. My name's Dr. Brandel Crane, and age is just a number, and quite honestly, I've forgotten it.
"Is your wheelchair around here somewhere? You look like you can barely walk."
Oh, that good Barb. Well, welcome to the world. I'm glad you didn't lose your wit in that fey world you were in.
"Faye, whatever it was, I don't really know, but as I said, well, keep the box close, and if we can help you, then yeah, we'll help you a bit. But if any of you puts Philorane in danger, you'll have me to answer to." At this point, she actually pulls the halberd off of her back, and you see she grips it and squeezes it.
Fillory, huh? Nice to meet you.
And you see the gentleman looks towards you here, Brandon, and he says, No, it's actually Philarain, elvish in nature. My mother comes from a long story long ago, another world and all that. But yes, Philarain, I'm very happy to meet you.
Likewise, I nod.
Since we just lost two of our compatriots, we could definitely use a hand. They're quite skilled in hand-to-hand combat, so if that's what you favor, then up close and personal. However, if you're more inclined to the arcane nature, then I suggest you stay where I am, or Brando maybe a little further back.
You notice the woman turns to you, Frederick, and says, "We've been in a box. We've not been lost of our wits. We know how battles work. We don't go up in the front if you're wearing robes. I'm sure old man here doesn't wheel up there and try to smash him with a stick."
Well, no, I don't have to. I have friends.
He actually killed somebody with that stick just recently, but that's besides the point, Gertrude. We're happy to have you, and please direct that anger not at us.
Ah, you mistake anger for boastfulness. Don't worry, we'll take it. What is this metal rat?
It's a wolf.
Yeah, and Silver has come up and is starting to sniff Gertrude. And when she says rat, he does that dog chuff. She does that dog chuff thing, and then just keeps walking past, going over to Leo.
All right, fine. Yep, just lead the way, and we'll see how things go.
Leo, let's see if we can get across the road and see what the steel crane has in his little pockets.
Right. Actually, before we do that, Leo's going to peer around the tree. Is everyone, as we've had this conversation for the last 5 minutes, still doing what they were doing inside of the compound?
So, based on what you can see, I believe you can only see a single figure that you've noticed so far on where you've been looking down the trail, and his back is sort of turned against you. He's past this well, and he's examining some type of a large barrel or bin. The best you can tell, it seems like he hasn't noticed what has occurred out here.
Okay, I think we're still okay. Let's check out Steel Crane Silverwing, or whatever his name was.
Just behind this tree. And I'll help you. I'll open his pockets for you.
I'll give him a pat down.
All right, you examine the body of Steel Crane here. Much like the other monks that you've located here, he wears these very similar attire here, the Immortal Lotus attire. You don't notice too much of interest on him. I don't believe he even has... No, he does not even have darts on him. However, checking into his pocket, you do find a single item which feels fairly solid, and as you procure it, it looks to be a key. A red wooden key, in fact.
Something.
What kind of key, Adam?
A red wooden key.
Can I pick up that whip thing that he had, Adam?
You can, yes.
Just
Don't hit yourself with that.
Good find, Leo.
Yeah, 9-section chain whip.
Random aside, on my YouTube, for some reason, it keeps showing me kung fu videos, and one of them, yesterday, was from an episode of Kung Fu where a guy had a big chain whip. So it's very funny that this is happening.
That's how good the algorithms are getting. They're just hearing what we're saying and it's going right to your feed now.
Yeah. But it was in the past, so it's time traveling even.
It portended it.
Wow.
I can't wait, because that means that coming up we're going to meet some hot singles in the area.
So, yeah. I guess, do we want to sneak up, try and figure out what the hell's going on in here?
Yeah, Adam, can I listen to see what's going on?
Sure, give me a perception check as you're kind of hugging this building and trying to listen. It's fair. I mean, there's certainly the noise that you can hear from the forest. The wind's kind of brushing along, pushing things through the trees. It's certainly not like super fast wind to the point that it's dangerous or anything, but it's making a bit of noise. Trees are swaying. You can hear the sound of nature nearby you. You don't hear much noise coming from the inner part of the complex here. Whatever they're doing, again, you've only really gotten a good line of sight on that one guy. and you can't really make out what it is that he's doing. So, no, you don't hear anything in particular, Brandel.
I'm gonna motion to our new friends. Hey, get against the wall, please. And in doing so, if they do, I will cast a spell to let us know what's inside there.
Go ahead and post what spell you'd like to cast.
Boom. I start uttering magic words, and a invisible magical eye appears before me, and I kind of gently push it with my hand.
Okay, as you utter the verbal components of the spell and conjure up in an action, this eye, all of you now can certainly hear the sound of movement coming from the east, and I will lock our tokens here.
When I can't hear very well, sometimes I talk too loud.
Okay, so after the incantations are uttered here, you hear the sound of movement. Leo, you are the first to react. What would you like to do?
Leo stares at the back of Brandel's head and just shakes his head, and then he's going to let's see. Is it difficult terrain moving through the tree right here?
Let me unlock those tokens. Moving through the tree would be difficult terrain. Just stepping where you're at now.
Okay. So yeah, 5. This is really janky with the dynamic lighting. 10, 15, 20, 20. Wait. Okay, hold on. That was 5, 10, 15. No, that was 5. That was 10. I can't math. 20. Okay, that's 30. Now, just give me a second. Sorry, surprise initiative. Kurtu Brandel.
Second thought, I should have been behind the tree over there.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm going to. Okay, the Gertrude looks like she is a big fighting type person. Is that accurate?
Well, she's larger than, she's about 5'10" and looks pretty hefty. She's wearing plate armor and is wielding a halberd.
I'm going to point my crossbow at her and I'll say, I hope you're as good as you act like you are. And he'll fire a small dart at her and cast haste on her.
All right, you notice she suddenly speeds up and you see she grins as the grip on that halberd gets tighter and she says, "Just you wait, thin boy."
Okay, now, come on. And then Silver's going to start bounding away. 20, 25. She's going to step right in. If this is like a half cover situation for the most part for people. Silver right here. Is that
Half cover would all depend on what angle like an attack would be coming from. If you mean like right straight east, likely yes.
Yeah, she'll stand right in front of old Brandel there, and she'll ready an attack for any enemy that comes in within her melee range.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, next up is Frederick.
Okay, I'm sure you saw my arrows there, Adam. I'm trying to figure out my best course of action. All right,
I was going to say,
move.
do you got a companion animal named Beth I don't know about?
I'm going to move here, and whoa, I can see very far. Okay, I am going to if I'm gonna hold a spell that does I'm triggering a spot. Am I triggering a spot if I do a held action, Adam, or am I triggering a certain Like
If you ready a spell, you just have to decide what the trigger is. Once the trigger is met, you then select the location, the point of, the target, all of that stuff at that time.
Perfect. Okay. So you guys are going to see Frederick very quickly coalesce a lot of that spectral flame into his hand, and he concentrates it into a single ball at the tip of his finger. And I'm just going to go ahead and cast at the level I want, Adam, so you're aware.
So are you casting now or you're readying?
I'm going to ready it, but I want to cast it at that level so you don't think, oh, he's just upcasting it. Is that okay, or would you...
Just declare what level, or I don't even think you have to declare that until it actually fires, to be honest, so I think you're good.
Okay, my held action is going to release when I see at least 3 of them pass the well, if that makes sense.
So if you see 3 opponents that have moved west of the well, you're going to then cast your spell.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now keep in mind, based on the way ready goes, is it wouldn't trigger until the third person has moved past and completed his movement.
Okay, how about once I see 3 enemies, then that'll be the trigger. Once I see 3 enemies, then I'll fire.
Okay, yep, same circumstances there though, because your trigger doesn't occur until after the end of the action.
Yeah, but my vision will be longer than their movement, so to speak. So I'm gonna go with once I see 3, then it will trigger my action, and that will.
All right, yeah, we can certainly give that a shot. Okay, so from around the building, you can now hear some sort of almost think of that like shout whisper type thing. Spell casting, other side of building. And you hear some movement now pretty quickly around this area, but it is quiet, so you can hear almost like, think of I don't know, like hearing someone in pajamas, like at a distance kind of thing. All right, next up is Fillering, and you notice Fillering here. You see he's kind of like looking a bit nervous and anxious, and he says, oh, I almost forgot Gertrude. And you see he flicks his hand, and you see this, like, for just a moment, you see this like layer of thin steel kind of covers her, and then it vanishes. After that, he is going to step to the side here and just holds on to this quarterstaff in his hand. Okay, next up is Brandel.
Okay, now I hear they're coming. What I'm going to do first is my action. I'm going to move my arcane eye at him. Can I move it in there? Can you give me a token or something?
Sure. I believe that has a 30-foot movement, right? And when you say move it in there, you're up against a wall, so you're not trying to put it through the wall, I assume?
Yeah, I'll go boom, boom. So 20 feet in, I guess, would be. I'm getting a mental picture. Just a mental picture. So you see Brandel, it's an invisible eye. He pushes something in the air, and now he's concentrating on what he's seeing through the eye, but he can still see and hear and do normal things.
Okay, and was this an action to move this, or what does this require?
Mentally receive information, and I take direction. It takes an action to move it, yep.
Okay, so you've used your action to move it there. I believe you should be able to see out of it now.
Yes, I do, thank you. Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna come back 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, wait, 5, 10, 20, 25. I'll move there. 30 is my movement. And I'm going to say, these guys could probably all hear me. I'll say, I can see in my mind's eye, inside the temple is a monk with a long white beard. And that'll be what I'll say. And that's about all I could probably say is a free movement, free saying anyway, 6 seconds. And then bonus action, I'm going to end my turn.
Okay, on Gertrude's turn, you notice as she's moving this like enhanced speed, she is going to step around the corner here. And as she does so, she'll move to here, and then she'll say, there's still a long ways off. And she'll move a bit faster. With the benefits of haste, she will get up to about here. And then she's actually going to dash and essentially just charge right up to here. Okay, next up is the one right next to her. Surprise, noticing her like come into focus here really quickly. He spins around and strikes. He will miss her on the first strike and on the second, as both clatter against her armor and do not harm her. The next one is going to swing around into a flank position and attack her a couple times. Let's see, first one, haste gives a +2 AC.
Yes.
All right, so she will be struck by this. And you'll see she gets hit in the back. And he tries to knock her to the ground, but she manages to remain on her feet. He follows up with a second strike. This one will also connect. Wounding her a second time. Another dex save from Gertrude, but she still manages to remain on her feet as we move to Ranvan.
Ranvan turns to his new friend behind him. He says, "Hey, real quick, you're not gonna kill us in this fight, right?"
And he is so surprised that he doesn't realize you're talking to him. He like looks behind him and then points at himself and says, "Yeah, are you talking to me?"
Yeah, maybe we'll have to talk later though. And then he just starts running. Okay, that's 30. So he'll dash to get another 30 and end his turn here.
Okay, Leopold, top of the next round.
Okay, so let's go down here. 5, 10, 15. Oh yeah.
Uh-oh, is it time for long range Leo as we know him from Idle Glen?
Sure is. We'll fire off on the one that is to the south of Gertrude there.
Okay, yeah, you line up a shot with your crossbow, sailing it towards this monk.
I don't want to jinx it, but my sharpshooter has been doing pretty good. So I'm going to sharpshooter him. Here they come.
Yes, both of those will in fact connect.
Yo, yeah. Good. Okay, so that's... Let me see here. Shit, how much movement was that just now? Let me get here. I was right here. So that was 5, 10, 15, 20? Yeah. So I'm going to go back 10 feet. And I'm going to tell Silver, go and kick some ass. And send her into the compound to attack the closest creature she can get to, if any. The main thing being, I don't have sight suddenly, so Adam will have to guide her for me, please.
Sure thing, and she has a 40-foot speed?
40 feet.
Okay, and can she dash?
She can.
Okay, so she takes 40 feet, is not near a target, and will move another, looks like about 20 feet as a dash to get to here.
If you can have her maybe flanking for Gertrude.
She is indeed.
Perfect. Okay, that's her turn. That's my turn.
Okay, Frederick, on the other side of the tree from Leopold there, your turn.
Okay, my held action would not trigger, so that would use my spell there, so I'm going to take that slot out.
No, I don't think it costs a spell.
Okay. I thought otherwise, but that's good to hear. Okay, so I'm instead going to move to here. And as I run up, I'm going to produce that Metroid Samus bolt looking shot out of my right arm, and I'm going to fire it off towards the one that's behind Gertrude. And I'll upcast it at no, I'll keep it first level. Why not? This one here.
Okay, so I'm sorry, was this the one southwest of Gertrude?
Yeah, the one in between her and Silver.
Okay, so this radiant bolt strikes forward and does indeed connect with him, wounding him severely and outlining him in light.
Perfect. And yeah, that'll be all for now.
All right. See, Brandel, you're going to notice some movement suddenly from the northwest as one of these monks comes around, rushing up here, getting next to Philorane. All right, on Philorane's turn, he looks quite surprised to notice this target suddenly appear here. He is going to... Yeah, he is going to actually disengage as he... Or actually, no, he'll do it. He'll wave his hands real quick, and you're going to see he vanishes from sight. And you, Brandel, obviously would recognize he has cast the invisibility spell as he then tries to move perhaps somewhere to safety. Okay, next enemy's turn. He's going to make his way around. And he's going to rush up here, getting next to Brandel. All right, yes, he gets up right in Brandel's face, and actually he is going to loop around to here, and then we're going to move to Brandel's turn.
Okay, Brandel isn't like that. He is going to bonus action. Misty steps. He waves his. He just says, "I'm out of here."
So Misty Step
30.
was 30 feet. Yep. Okay, so you're going from... Okay, yeah, that works.
30 feet to there. Misty step. Boom. I just materialize in the air and appear here. Frederick. They're behind us.
Okie dokie.
And then I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to there. And I am going to Mind Sliver this guy here.
All right, you cast a Mind Sliver out towards him. Here comes a save. Yeah, he will fail this, and as he reaches towards his head to grab it, stop the pain, it's too much, and he collapses. All right, Gertrude's turn. You notice she grips that halberd tightly as she then turns towards this guy and just viciously swings down towards him. Thanks to haste, she will attack an extra time. But, actually, the second one will indeed connect, but the other two are going to miss as she swings perhaps too fast. The second one does manage to catch the monk, however, and he is wounded. All right, you're going to notice she slashes into him with that halberd and wounds him. Okay, that will be her turn. She will actually move to here. And we'll move to this guy's turn. Yeah, he's going to return that against Gertrude. He'll miss on the first strike, manage to connect on the second. And wound her. So, Ranvan, you're a bit closer now, and you notice as he strikes, every time he's hit her so far, and especially this time as you're closer, you notice when he hits her, that thin skin that seemed to appear, it's like appears once again, almost absorbing the blow. She'll then save against the... Yeah, she is knocked to the ground by that attack. All right, and that will be his turn as we move to Ranvan.
Okay, I am going to step up 20 feet. And I will target that guy with Sacred Flame.
All right, you step up, calling down a Sacred Flame towards him, and that is a Dex D. Okay, yours is 17. He manages to evade this.
It's fast. Can I step here?
You can, yep, you're right on the edge of the well.
Okay. Is the well, is it high enough that I could not get pushed into this well?
You think it would be, I mean, it's possible, but it's not easy.
Would I have to be lifted to be put into the well?
You'd have to be lifted probably 2 feet.
Okay, cool. I'm good with it here then.
Okay, top of the round. As you're turning around the bend in this corner, Ranvon, you can notice that there is this sort of elevated section to your northeast. And as you look there, you see these other monks have now taken notice of you and engage. Okay, Leo is still the quickest to act.
My boots spin up and I start flying off into the air. But first, I'm gonna move. Yeah, this. I'm gonna move 5 feet to the southwest, and then 25 feet straight up.
Okay.
Then up in the air, I'm gonna get a bead on this monk that has appeared behind us.
You
And I'm
can.
gonna start blasting away at him. So that's a sharpshooter on those.
And for activating the boots, is that any kind of action?
Nope. It is. Let's see. You know what? They're basically always on. It sounds like you have a. I'll post it to you. Yeah. So no action. I can just do it, I guess.
Okay, yep, got it. That's pretty straightforward, yep. All right, so you're 25 feet in the air. You point your crossbow towards this guy. First shot will connect, but he will manage to dodge the second.
Fair enough. After that first shot, let's see here. He's 25. Yeah. I think that isosceles triangle works out. He's within 30 feet of me, so I'll arcane jolt him a little extra too. No, actually, I'm gonna arcane jolt myself and heal me for something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get another 10 back. Then silver. She will. She's gonna try and move over here and help finish this guy off. She'll attack the one that everyone is attacking.
She lunges forth and does manage to connect, wounding him as she hits him in the arm.
Excellent. I think that is my turn.
All right, Frederick's turn.
Hearing Brandal say they're behind us, and I look over, I'll say, finally, and I'll coalesce that magical energy to a point at my finger and point it over in their direction, and I'm going to cast Fireball. So let me cast it, then grab a template. Yeah, I want it to be, I don't want to get much of the forest. I'd much prefer to get the compound. So, well, let's do like that, Adam. Perfect.
All right, you conjure this up, center it over there. The bead flies out, explodes into a big ball of flames. The left guy first. He will succeed on his save. The other guy will not. So the first guy will take half. Second guy will take full. All right, as these flames lick out from the center there, you do notice it catches the tree, all three of them, and all three of these trees are now on fire. The one in the back looks at most risk of perhaps extending back into that further foliage to the north.
Yep, I'll take care of that. All right. I'm cool with where I'm at. I'll end my turn.
All right, next up is this guy with Leo being in the air and having just gotten struck by a fireball. He's going to actually come around here and rush right up to Frederick. As he does so, he's first going to try to sweep your legs. That is going to connect. As he hits into you for 5 points of damage, Frederick, and a dexterity save. All right, you managed to maintain your feet. He follows up with an elbow smash. This one will hit as well.
Shield.
All right, go ahead and burn a reaction shield slot, and this will get struck into the shield and not hit. Okay, next one. This guy, seeing this commotion, rushes forth. He will get down to here, putting Gertrude in the flank. Philarane's turn. He's still invisible. I'm not sure if he wants to break his invisibility just yet. So, yeah, you're going to definitely hear the sound of footsteps, but you don't really see where he's at as he kind of ushers his way along. All right, this guy's turn. Also can't get to Leopold. We'll move on a dime over here towards Frederick and attack Frederick, whose AC is now 19 thanks to shield. That will hit. So he penetrates that shield, dealing 5 points of damage and another dex save. This time Frederick fails and is knocked prone. He follows this up with a leaping knee bash to the downward angle, trying to hit you at advantage. That will connect for another 5 points of damage. All right, this guy is going to make his way out as well, rushing, hopping over this little gated area, getting next to the well, having a strange angle here, but he is going to lash out at Ranvon. Ranvon is missed on the first strike and in the second as both connect into that plate armor, doing no damage. Move to Brandel.
Okay, Brandel sees what's happening to Frederick. I'm assuming there's a rock or stone or debris somewhere on this path.
I would say so, yes.
Alright, I'm going to I don't say anything. I just take my hand and I lift up one of the rocks and I just throw it to my left. I'm going to cast Catapult at level 1 at those two that are lined up. Dex save.
All right, go ahead and post that. Okay, here comes dex save for the first guy. He will manage to get struck by this, so it stops there as the catapult slams into him, this rock, and he is wounded.
I'll move there. No, I'm not. Redcon. I'm there. I'm going to move here.
Well, you'll have to count that movement because you did get the benefit of seeing what is over there, so call that 10, 15.
Okay, I'm going to telekinetically, with my mind, pull Frederick towards me.
Yeah, Frederick, I assume you don't resist, right?
Actually, I do.
All right, give me a strength saving throw.
Shoot. You're stuck down prone, right?
I have a plan.
Okay.
You fail,
Doesn't work
however.
anyways.
Oh, well, your plan sucks.
I look back and say, Brandel, I had a plan.
You're on your back, and there's two guys on you.
I've learned a few tricks.
Alright, I'm gonna move there.
I'm going to add a quick no comment to that string of text right there.
Okay. In my turn.
All right, we'll move up to this guy over here who's going to make his way out of this little compound area. He's going to rush over here, getting next to Gertrude. Gertrude's turn. She is going to stand up from prone, spending half of her speed. Still hasted thanks to Leo's spell here. So she's going to go after the injured one to her northwest as she slashes out. She will hit on the first attack, and on the second attack, and on the third attack, connecting with all three of these.
Let's go, Gertrude.
All right, as she slashes out, she connects, wounding this guy. And you see she slashes him kind of up and down the arm here. And that will be it for her turn as we move to the next guy. All right, he's still face to face with Gertrude and will attack her on the flank.
Disadvantage.
Okay, the first one will miss as Silver leaps to the defense there, and the second one will miss as well.
So it's a race sometimes to hit the talk button.
Yeah, we should build you a little macro so you can hit it faster than I hit mine. So.
Yeah.
All right, this guy also is going to make his way out, and he will rush up to here. All right, and then you're going to notice, Ranvon, a woman over here. And you're going to see she moves very quickly gliding almost as she moves and does a strange sort of jump motion to get to the top of this little area here, this wall. And as she does, you see she takes focus on towards you.
Uh-oh.
All right, so she will actually hop over to this side of the wall, and she's kind of balancing up here as she moves very quickly, flashing her hand forward as you see darts flying towards you. All right, Brando, you burn that spell slot as you try to counter spell the dart throw, but it does nothing. All right, first one will miss. The second one will critically hit.
I tried, Ranvon.
I'm gonna get darted to death.
That will be a normal non-critical. Third one will miss. Okay, so just one dart hit. You will suffer... All right, so this is going to be, just in case you have resistances or whatnot, 3 piercing damage plus 6 poison damage for a total of 9 points of damage. And then I'll need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Ranvon.
Okay, there's the 9. I don't have resistances. And then Constitution?
Yes, please. All right, you succeed on this as the poison's extra rider effect is not able to affect you. And we move on to Ranvon's turn.
Okay, I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians again and tell you who I can see this time. Okay, I can see Silver, Gertrude. He's invisible, right?
Correct.
So not him. Brandel, Frederick, and Leo way back there. So everyone except for our invisible friend, I think.
All right, you cast Spirit Guardians once again, and those angelic spectral figures begin to flit about you.
Okay, that'll be my turn, though. That's an action.
Okay, top of the next round, Leopold.
Okay. Okay, since Frederick said he's got a plan, Leo's gonna trust that, and he'll use his super distanceness and fire crossbow bolts at the other guys instead.
We had a plan until Brandel ruined it.
We'll see if it doesn't pan out. Then the next turnaround we'll get him. Let's see. I'm just trying to think through my. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna fire off crossbow bolts to this. Actually, which of these guys have we been hitting the most? This one right in front of Silver?
The one north of Silver does.
North of Silver? Okay, how about we fire off at them? And let's sharpshooter this.
That bolt will miss.
Try again.
Second bolt strikes true, wounded him. He looks near death.
Okay, Silver will follow up with an attack.
All right, Silver is able to drag him down, and he is dropped.
Awesome. And what's the most optimal place for Silver to go? There isn't. Yeah, actually, she's going to stay right there because she can help out both Gertrude and Ranvon. Okay.
All right, Frederick, prone on the ground. Your turn.
Okay, Frederick looks over his shoulder at Brandal and then back at the 2 guys in front of him and kind of brushes off his chest where that guy kneed him there, and then he's going to reach into his pouch and pull out white pepper, and he's going to take a big bite out of it and chew really aggressively, and as he does, his mouth starts like puffing out this really like cold, like on a cold day when you exhale, and he's going to cast this on himself, Adam, with cold. And yeah, we'll do this. And let me see. I think we got burning hands, right? It's the same thing.
Yep, that template should work.
Okay, so he's gonna do that.
All right, so you bonus action to bestow this upon yourself. Then you're using your action to
Exhale.
exhale.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, got it. All right, so you do this and you exhale in this area, and you said cold, right?
Yes.
All right, so the first guy on the left, here comes a dexterity save. He will fail, suffer full. Second guy will take only half. So as this cold dragon's breath ushers over him, the first guy is wounded as he looks very cold. Excuse me, pardon me. And you upcast this, so I'll add those two numbers together. The first guy is wounded pretty significantly. Second guy suffers only half of that, also wounded. Both of these guys look very badly hurt.
Well, your plan still worked.
I'm gonna stand up using half my movement, so that'll put me at 15. And I'm gonna move backwards 10.
All right, we move to the guy that you just wounded. He looks very much aggrieved. He's actually going to move over to here, and he's going to strike Brandel. He misses with the punch and follows us up with a karate kick, which also misses.
Oh, bummer. I cast shield.
All right,
I'll
next
undo.
guy over here. He'll start his turn, and he'll roll against Spirit Guardians. He will fail. Go ahead and roll that. Perfect. All right, as he is struck by this, you hear the woman in the back say, "Take out the spellcaster!" And you notice he quickly moves behind you here, Ranvon.
Disadvantage one of these.
Does she have a reaction back?
Silver does. Yes.
She does. Okay. All right, so
Does Gertrude get to attack her?
Oh yeah, my bad. I didn't even notice he stepped outside of that area, the opportunity attack. So yes, Gertrude will. Gertrude will critically hit her.
Nice.
All right, so this is a deep slice, so damage twice, and the creature is bleeding. All right, so as that damage goes through, wounds him. And yes, he is now bleeding. All right, so yeah, he does not seem to use the action to staunch the wound. So as he gets to here and gets in the flank position, he's actually going to attempt to shove you prone here, Ranvon. So you can resist this with athletics or acrobatics.
This is the well fear. I'm getting welled.
He manages to push you to prone. All right, now that you are prone, he is going to attack you at advantage and flank.
One of those disadvantage on him, or to a normal roll.
Okay, so you want to disadvantage the first attack, is what you're saying? Because obviously you can't disadvantage a push or a shove.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Since the push happened.
All
the
right,
next
so
one after
yep,
that.
so this will then be a straight roll, which will be called a fumble. So here comes a fumble. All right, he would have disadvantage on his next roll against Ranvon. So I'll put a little indicator here.
That worked out.
This guy's having the worst turn I've ever seen.
He sure is
a
not. It's
bad
not
guy go
working
through.
for him well. All
It's not
right.
quite Leo lose
No,
control of the elemental bad, but it's pretty.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
bleeding out. He looks up. Did you see me, boss?
I'm doing what you told me.
All right, Fillerain's going to move more as he is still invisible. He's going to actually get to here, but doesn't want to break that invisibility yet, so he'll remain there. As we move to this guy, he's going to move over to here, putting Frederick in the flank and attack.
I'll shield to hit, Adam.
All right, first one will not connect, so you won't need a shield. Second one will. Go ahead and burn that shield slot. And that will set your AC to 19, and he will still break through, so he punctures through that shield. And that will be 8 points of damage and another dexterity save. Does that Dragon's Breath have an ongoing effect?
It does. It lasts a minute and it's concentration. I put it on. I don't know why it's not triggering it, but...
it should once you deduct HP. I don't know if you've done that already or not.
No, I was going to do the dex save first. Here we go. Dex save.
All right.
Failed it.
Trips the foot, knocks you to the ground.
You said 8 damage, right?
8, yes.
Don't forget your special bedazzled thing.
Oh, that is true, but I'm not going to need it.
Yep.
All right, you managed to maintain concentration on Dragon's Breath as we move to the next guy. Here's another save against Spirit Guardians. 17? DC 17?
Mine's 17 too. I think that means he wins.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was asking. That was a clarification. Your DC 17?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's going to fail this, so he will suffer that damage. You are prone, however, so he's going to take a couple of attacks against you. So this one will... Oh, actually, that's flank also. That will miss you. Second attack will manage to connect. That will be 11 points of damage to Ranvon. All right, you managed to maintain concentration on Spirit Guardians as we move to Brandel.
Okay, Brandel sees this guy here, just attacked him. I was typing in my journal. All right, and so he's back against the tree, puts his back against the tree, and he sees the big boss, and he rubs his temples until there's enough friction, and then you see his head starts to glow, and he snaps his fingers, and a psychic lance is going to fly towards the boss up here, this girl. Oh, and I'm going to portent it with 12. And I know it's going to hit. I've seen this in my mind. I think this all looks familiar. I'm having a deja vu moment, and I know it's going to hit.
All right, DC 17. It does indeed connect as you portent that roll.
Oh, I need to roll it? But, oh, yeah, let me do the...
Yeah, it looks like you just posted the description. You want to post the damage.
Oh, this is the spell I had to write in because you let me use it. So let me just roll the damage to you.
All right, that psychic lance fires forth and does indeed strike this woman. You see she has this sudden dazed expression on her face as she's kind of swooning back and forth.
And then I look at the guy next to me. I'm like, get away! And I try to push him 5 feet away from me, please. My bonus action.
And your DC on this is?
17.
Strength, yeah, he is pushed away.
And I say, thank you.
He doesn't seem happy about it, though.
My movement, 5, 10, 15. I'm worried about this door. Why don't I go here? 5, 10. I'm going to go there. There's no reason for me to go anywhere else. All right, end my turn. Thank you.
All right, move to this guy, also affected by spiritual guardians. He will fail to save as well. And we'll have some more damage coming in from Radva. All right, so he's going to move to here, so he'll suffer that damage. And then he's going to take 2 advantage attacks against Ranvon. Critical hit on the first one. Oof, not a critical hit. All right.
You've had a lot of crits tonight.
Yeah, I have, yeah. 10 points of damage against Ranvon on that strike. And you succeed. Second one will hit as well. That'll be 6 points of additional damage. All right, still maintaining that concentration as we move to Gertrude. All right, and she is going to attack the injured one southwest of her, so she will strike out with that halberd. And she will connect on all 3 of her attacks. All right, so she slashes, slashes, slashes. Each time you notice the blade lighting up with a bit of radiant energy. And with all of these attacks combined, this is enough to overwhelm the monk, who drops. And she will circle around now to the other side here. All right, we'll move to this one who just found himself in a flank position. He will take that save against spiritual guardians. He'll fail, suffering that damage. Following the previous command that was given to him, he is going to step down to here, and Gertrude will opportunity attack him. She will connect again. And he is wounded as she catches him as he escapes. And then he is going to give 2 advantage attacks on Ranvan. First one connects. That'll be 7 points of damage. Second one, however, does not, as it just hits into your armor, not able to penetrate. All right, then this is the woman who has suffered the psychic lance, and she is incapacitated until the start of Brandel's next turn. So yeah, she's just incapacitated. So incapacitated, let me double check. I think it means she can't do anything.
Yeah, I kind of froze the big guy in Avernus too.
Can't take actions or reactions. Okay, so she can still move. So she's incapacitated, so she is going to move. Up to here. And then we move to Ranvan's turn, who is currently prone.
Okay, I will stand up finally.
All right, you pull yourself back to your feet.
Well, that was a lot. Okay, and then he will cast Sacred Flame on the one right below him.
Sacred Flame on the bleeding, wounded one, and here it comes. He is going to fail that and suffer that damage.
No way. Did he fumble that?
Well, he can't fumble the save. Or actually, yeah, that counts as a critical, right? That's our rule. So roll another set of damage.
Yes.
I think it's another 3d8, right?
Plus your Blessed Strikes, because that's another die roll.
Okay, let me just click Sacred Flame again.
Yep, that works. All right, all that damage combined as he is, as you said, having a really bad day here, Ranvan. He tries to dodge out of the way, just pretty much puts his head right under those Sacred Flames, and he drops.
A mercy. Okay, then who can I see near me that I could? No, I think that's it for me.
All right, we move to the top of the next round with Leopold on the west side of the battlefield.
Leo will start moving into this compound, 25 feet still up in the air. Essentially, he's going to trust... I feel like Ranvan's in more trouble than Frederick at this point, so he's going to fire off at this monk person that he can see here.
All right, the one just south of Silver there. Yeah, go ahead and make your attacks.
Sharpshooter.
The first one manages to connect. However, he does dodge out of that second bolt.
So be it. And Silver is going to follow up with that and try and get him.
He manages to evade Silver's strike as well.
That's too bad. Silver's going to stay planted right there. Anything else, Leo? No, that was a bonus. Yep, that's my turn.
Okay, we move over to Frederick's turn, who's currently prone once again next to 2 of these guys.
He's gonna look up at him and say, "You guys just don't get it, do you?" And then he's gonna close his eyes and look like he's really about to fart. And then this burst of energy comes out of him, and he's gonna do Word of Radiance.
Word of Radiance, okay. So this will affect both of them as you conjure this radiant energy. Save from the west guy first, then the north guy. Yeah, so I forgot. We did this wrong actually on Ranvan. When they roll a 1, it counts a critical for you, so you would now roll a radiant crit. Whoa, okay, yeah. So this is going to be a huge one. I can tell you he's already so badly hurt that this is essentially just going to blow him away as this bright light just pretty much knocks him straight to the ground. Second guy, he will succeed on the save and suffer no damage, I believe, right?
Let me double check.
Unless you've got some special ability. Most cantrips are no damage on a save.
Yeah, no, nothing like that.
All right, so you're still prone, but you have just dispatched the one to your west.
Cool, so I'll stand back up and I'll look this guy in the face and I'll say, do you want to continue?
He has this sort of look in his eye of fervency. You notice almost like he's not really thinking. He's so devoted to his cause. You get no impression that he's going to stop fighting. And in fact, as you ask this question after standing up, he launches into another series of strikes against you.
I'll shield the hit.
All right, go ahead and burn another shield slot. And that will set your AC to 19. He is going to miss, and he will follow this up with trying to hit you with a headbutt. And it just smacks into that shield to no avail. All right, we move to Philoraine's turn, and he's comfortable coming out of invisibility now, so he will just cast a Ray of Frost over towards the one that is fighting with Frederick at the moment. So this will be at advantage because he can't see Philoraine. All right, so this flies over towards the enemy and does indeed strike. All right, so you notice this brilliant blue line just suddenly emerges from an, sort of like an emptiness, and then you see Philoraine appears popping out of invisibility. As it strikes into the monk, you see he freezes completely as he is dispatched by that spell.
For flavor, Frederick pushes it over.
Philoraine will then rush back over here. All right, you push it over. Yeah, it just kind of hits the ground. Doesn't shatter cool or anything. It just sits there kind of boring. All right, we'll move to this monk here who's going to roll against the Guardians, and he will fail. And we'll wait for that damage to come through, but then he's going to follow up with the... There we go. All right, then he will follow up.
It, but it's lagging.
Yeah, it's getting to that time of night. All right, he is going to once again try to push Ranvon. Or actually, no, he's just going to strike because he's got that chance to knock you to the ground anyway. So here comes an attack. Double critical.
Oh,
wow, look at that.
Oh my god.
Do I get weld?
We used to have a rule on this where if it was a double critical, you had to do something fun, but I don't think we applied that in this campaign. So here just comes your roll on the crit chart. All right, so that's a true crit as that connects solidly into Ranvon. All right, so that will be 14 points of force damage and a dexterity saving throw. All right, you managed to maintain concentration on your Sacred Guardians, but fail the dex save and get knocked to the ground with that powerful strike. He will then follow up with a second strike, now at advantage because you're prone. And this will also connect for another 9 points of force damage. And you manage to maintain concentration again as we move to Brandel.
Okay, I saw the psychic glance when I hit her. She went... Is this a building in front of my eye?
To your east, yes.
Yeah, let me get my pointer. That's a building, right?
That is a building as well, yes.
Okay, and is there a inch diameter I can move my arcane eye into that room?
Good question. Let me double check. It says the door to this quarters is specifically built to prevent arcane... No, I'm kidding. Yeah, you certainly find a little space underneath there.
As an action, I'm thinking she went in that built me as the back door, so I'm going to move in there. I don't know if you could put my eye in there, please.
Yes, it scoops underneath the door frame.
That's 15 to there, probably?
Yep, count that 15.
Okay. 20, 25, 30. Okay. I'll say, nothing's in that building to our north. And by that I mean this building to north, I'm assuming is north, but probably not. Okay, that's my action. I'm going to now move 5, 10. You know, Why am I moving? I'm just going to stay there. End my turn.
All right, trying to adjust these dynamic lighting walls just slightly to make it more obvious that that is a exterior wall there. All right, we move over to Gertrude's turn. So Gertrude is going to take the flank on the monk here with Ranvan, and she will strike out at... actually, how bad does Ranvan... Yeah, Ranvan's actually looking kind of hurt. So instead, she will step up here. You're going to notice, Ranvan, that she will take one hand off of that halberd as she reaches down, and she will reach out with a healing touch. So you notice radiant energy flows through here, turning into healing power as she restores 16 HP to you. And I believe...
Thank you.
And she gives you this like kind of grunt smirk on her face as she does so. And she says, "Stay next to me, I can help." And I think with haste, she can get a free attack even if she uses an action, if I remember correctly. So she will strike at the one to her west. Unfortunately, that is going to miss. All right, move to this guy next. He is going to roll against Guardians. He will succeed this time, suffering only half damage. And then he's going to step to the west and attack Ranvan on the flank.
Disadvantage.
All right, first one becomes a normal attack because Ranvan is prone, so not advantage thanks to Silver. This will still connect. As that is 8 points of damage against Ranvan. And let's see. Okay, yeah, so now Gertrude will burn her reaction to intercept this strike. And she will actually absorb all of that damage, Ranvan, so you can give yourself that 8 back. However...
Oh, that 8 that just happened.
Yes, yep. So essentially he punches forth and you see she swings her halberd and kind of knocks his arm downward. So when he hits you, the impact is way lessened, and she rolled high enough to reduce that damage to 0. He will take his second attack against you, however. And this one will also connect. At 8 damage. So yeah, it applies anyway. Alright, we move back to her, and she's no longer affected by Psychic Lance, so she can actually take her turn. And let's see what she wants to do here.
She wants to get hit by Spirit Guardians.
She really doesn't, though. So she's going to step out to here, and she's going to... Let me check distance. Alright, she'll step to here. She's going to try those darts against you. Even though you're prone, this is at disadvantage. She's going to attempt to hit you on these. First one will miss. Second one will be a fumble. Or actually, no. Second attacks can't fumble, so that's just a miss. Third attack manages to connect even at disadvantage. Alright, so that is going to be a total of 9 points of damage to Ranvan and another Constitution save. Alright, so you managed to maintain concentration. Alright, you fail this Constitution saving throw, Ranvan, and you suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Do you have a script for that, or should I just press up?
Yeah, you could just press up. I put the 1 icon on you, but on your actual sheet, you'll want to set that 1 level.
Okay, done.
All right, we move to Ranvan's turn, who's prone, and 1 level of exhaustion.
Okay, Ranvan stands up again. He goes, "Okay. Well, this is getting to be a lot, but I'm not done yet." And he's going to take his hands and put them both on his chest and cast Heal on himself.
Nice.
Dope.
All right, so as that positive energy surges through you, it doesn't take off exhaustion. I thought it might, but yes, you certainly regain that significant HP back.
I'm still ready to go.
All right, we move to the top of the next round with Leopold.
Sweet. Okay, moving in. Let's do this first. And then we're going to move another 15. Oh, I still don't see the lady. Okay, that's all right. We're gonna start blasting. This southern guy here. Sharpshooter.
All right, you line up a shot at this injured guy, firing off a bolt, which connects, puncturing right into his chest, and he falls slain.
Was that both of them needed?
No, just the first one.
Can I redirect the second one to the last guy up?
You can, yeah. So you fire the second shot, also sharpshooter. That will connect as well, wounding him as it punctures through his elbow.
Right. And Silver will follow up for some Silver will pound attack action.
All right, Silver leaps forward, also connect, biting him in the ankle.
Excellent.
He is looking very badly hurt.
Bonus section. Yep, that's my turn.
All right, Frederick's turn.
Alright, Frederick, seeing the guy that Leo just attacked, he's going to follow Leo up with some Eldritch Blast. He's going to send all 3 blasts his way. Can't see anybody else, so that's where he's going to direct his attention.
All right, the first one connects, hits him, wounds him. Second one hits him and drops him.
Third one comes in and just like smashes him across the,
Pushes him
Sorry.
backward towards the crops, yeah.
Sorry. Little too much there.
All right, Philoraine's turn. All right, yeah, he can't see much from his current position. Let me just double check what he's got, see if anything yeah, no, I don't think he's going to pull out any big guns or anything like that, so he will just move up this way and kind of hug this wall, adopting a defensive position as we move to Brandel.
All right, Brandel's sees what's going on in the well, and that lady's still around. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Ooh, hello, lady. Hello, lady. Wasn't that like a
Sounds creepy as hell, whatever it is.
No. What is it? It's from.
Hello, nurse.
Princess Bride. I brought 4 horses in case we find the lady. Oh, hello, lady.
Oh, Andre the Giant? Okay.
Yeah. Well, my voice sucks. Anyway, I see her. Hello. So I verbally say, I see you. Psychic glance. Boom. No portent on this. Let's see what she does.
She critically fails it, so that'll count as a crit for you. Go ahead and roll a crit psychic.
Okay, that's my roll. Let me do my crit. Yes.
All right, nice. So roll damage is normal. She'll suffer that damage, and you control the creature's movement on its next turn. Nice.
Oh. Next is going to be. So now, can I control it now? Oh, on its next turn. Oh, bummer. Okay, cool. Action. Okay, end my turn. Sweet.
All right, just quick FYI there, Brian. I just built in the damage to that, so next time you post it, it will automatically roll that for you.
Oh, you're the best.
All right, we move to Gertrude's turn, and there are no obvious enemies other than one that she can see up here, so she goes tromping through those crops, paying a quick glance over to Philorane, noticing that he is unhurt. She gets up to here, moving very speedily. Once she does so, you see she just slashes out in quick pace. And all 3 of these attacks are going to connect. Oh yeah, she hacks up this individual very badly, scoring all 3 strikes, and she looks near death. All right, it is her turn, so you get to control her movement. So I think the fairest way to do that would be to say you can control her movement, and then she gets to take her own action. So if she obviously chose to dash, then you would get to control where she goes, but you're pretty sure she's not going to do that. Where would you like her to move?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to put her into the Spirit Guardian's aura.
Makes sense, yeah. So you pretty much mentally command her to move forward.
Come forward, my lady.
As she exits this space, you notice Gertrude takes that opportunity to, or actually I guess that's force movement, so I'll say no, that doesn't count as that, but moving into the Spiritual Guardians definitely does, regardless of what she rolls on the save here. I don't think she can possibly survive this. Let me just check for any cool super abilities I'm not thinking of. No, yeah, that's minimum. Yeah, that's going to do it. So as she steps into the spiritual guardians, boom, you see she just drops. All right, guys, and with that, that is the last obvious enemy that has fallen, so we are out of combat.
Once that happens, before my dragon's breath runs out, Adam, can I run over here and try to use it to subdue any of the extra flames from the
Absolutely,
trees?
very cool. Yeah, so you breathe out that cold breath, which, yeah, we'll say it does indeed put that flame out, and good creative use of that ability. Go ahead and take inspiration.
Oh, thank you. I just didn't oh, well, we don't know what they are, but those fey creatures, you know, they were protective of their forest. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to burn it all up.
Indeed, absolutely makes sense. All right, guys, well, we are right at the end of our session time here. I think before asking you to move forward any further, let's go ahead and pause it there. I will lock the tokens. Obviously, you guys can see some interesting developments around here, but that is for next session. So you guys probably got the meta of this, and if not, I'll sort of explain it. Because with our group, you know, we know that Brad unfortunately has to step away early sometimes. The introduction of the Mechanist box was to try to allow for an easy in-character reason for why somebody can slide in or slide out. So these two individuals, you'll get to learn more about both Philarain and Gertrude later, but they are almost, you could think of them as backups so that the balance of the encounters isn't thrown way off when one or more of you guys has to step away from a session. And I purposely made it where the box can only hold 2 people, because obviously if 3 players have to miss, we cancel a session, so we'll work out pretty well there. So that is its main purpose. So I would just say don't think of it as like a, hey, how can we bury something amazing in this box and pop it out later. Really, it's just to kind of facilitate that ease of play, guys. So yeah, I hope everybody had a good session tonight. I hope it was a lot of fun. It was very interesting seeing you guys push through this monk compound. Hope everybody enjoyed it. We'll pick up next week and continue the adventure.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Adam. Great session.
Yeah, a lot of fun, guys.
A lot
Good
of
use
fun.
of your
Good job.
abilities. That was great.
I'll see you guys
Good
next
night,
week.
everyone.